Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Fade in.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have.
Well, we're talking about people who have serious sexual orientation and gender identity problems. And I'm not talking, and when I say sexual orientation, I don't mean, a dude who likes a dude and a chick who likes a chick. We're talking about people who think that they're non-binary and they don't know how to play with their holes and shit like that.
Jesus Christ. Look, I got no problem with the idea of punching me in the face with nostalgia penis. I get that. I understand this.
But we don't want Revan touched. No.
Agreed.
You don't want anything good touched.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because Disney Star Wars is a bad touch.
It is a bad touch.
Touches you in the bad place.
It's a bad touch.
Show me on the doll where Disney Star Wars touched you.
I need a bigger doll.
Oh, God.
There's no doll left.
Jurassic World?
Jurassic Park didn't eat more out of Lilo's pie.
Fuck. You know what? There is a single reason why I wouldn't want to become a merman. I wouldn't have my penis anymore.
Yeah, you're here to bang women.
Oh my God, you're not going to let me tell the story of cutting my penis off?
They're not making another Quiet Place, are they?
It's the fourth one because there was a prequel too.
Oh, well,
I saw all those movies and I hate them all.
Really? Even the first one?
Yes, especially the first one. First one makes me sick to my penis. I hate that freaking movie.
I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun.
But I'm so apathetic to Star Wars that this episode could have featured Yoda riding on a dildo being wielded by R2-D2, and I would have the same reaction.
I'm still jerking off in front of my console. No, Warner Brothers is doomed. They can't take care of themselves. They're a limbless infant on the street begging, help me, please, but no one's going to do it because it's a Goblin Baby. So no one wants it. Point is, anybody that picks up that Goblin Baby, it's a diseased baby, and it's going to poison your entire company too because you're also dumb and stupid and you don't know what you're doing. Now, if you were smart, you could put cybernetics on it, create a little monster, run around here, then we have a lot of fun. But they're not that smart to make it even a cybernetic Goblin Baby that could cause destruction. That'd be fun. But here we are.
I love this metaphor.
Here we are.
Cybernetic.
We have nothing
that's
but
what Apple was describing. Drew was describing with Apple. That's cybernetic, baby.
Cybernetic Goblin Baby.
You know the people playing Grand Theft Auto. If there's just going to be a random pride parade that pops up in the city, you know what assholes like me are going to do? I'm going to find the biggest fucking truck that I have, a 4x4, and fucking run through that fucking pride parade and fucking kill everybody. In a video game, YouTube. In a video game.
You are what your daddy is. You are what your daddy is. People don't want to hear
Rachel
it.
Zegler.
Yeah, Polish. Come on.
Yeah.
You are what your daddy is. It is what it is. Like, oh, I'm a Latina. No, your daddy is whiter than white. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You are what your daddy is. That's the line of succession. I don't make the rules. I don't create genetics. I don't create science. That's how the penis works. Okay? That's just how it works.
Please, sir, can I have some darkies?
Impressive. Most impressive.
let that define it, because there was other stuff that defined all these franchises we love before the likes of Disney or Kurtzman or any other one took them over and, you know, fucked them in the ear. So in the ear, that it hurts. It would hurt.
It doesn't just hurt.
Oh my God.
It would kill you.
God, heaven. Not the ear.
I thought you said Star Wars isn't dead.
Well,
you don't like that.
No,
that metaphor makes it true.
No, Disney Star Wars. Don't let them. And that's what you do to Disney Star Wars.
That's what we're doing to Disney Star Wars now. When did this be about us?
I meant the metaphorical we, the royal we, the world.
No, we.
The wee in somebody's ear. Like, what are we doing?
Oh boy.
Game over, man. It's game over.
And I remember I'm lying there and I'm crying hell because I feel it right here and it's got its like pincer jaws and I'm holding it like this, trying to fight it. And I'm going, help me. And my team doesn't hear me. And then someone else actually woke me up because I was actually going, help me. And I woke up and my hands were like this with the pincers trying to get in there. And that was it.
Okay, Adam. I have one question only.
Yes.
Do you have 1987 grade crack at your home?
In those
I'd work
special
with
stores.
Haley Atwell every day.
But
with two hands even.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
And these tool bags wouldn't know quality if it walked up and motorboated them. Because, you're going to motorboat quality.
Wait, what?
Quality boobs. You want to motorboat quality boobs.
There we go. All better now. Man, titties are the greatest things on earth.
Howdy, all. Welcome back to the roundtable where we got a lot to do today. There's a lot of things to get over, and I'm excited. I've only been up for a little while, but I've eaten hamburgers. I've played Crimson Desert already once today, and I'm ready to go. I'm in a good mood. I know it's weird. It's weird. Let's not ruin it. Hello, Jed, my fellow Greymane. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yes, it is weird to see you in a good mood, but I'm in a matching one. I just want to be playing Crimson Desert right now. Just want to be doing that. And then I watched Project Hail Mary again, got a job finally. I'm in a good mood as well. And we got lots of great things to talk about today. And tomorrow on Rider Flight, I have 8 topics for science alone. Not even talking about the pop culture side. With Artemis coming up on Tuesday, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, it's happening.
It's happening April 1st. I'm going to be live most of the day, and I wanted to throw this out here in the chat to see what you guys think. Okay. Obviously, the NASA coverage is going to be boring for several hours until the actual launch. So I'm thinking about playing the puzzle game, the moon puzzle game called Deliver Us Moon, split screening it, and then when big things happen, I can switch to just the NASA feed. I think that might be a cool idea.
I guess it works.
Attention chat.
It connects. There's connective tissue. It's space related.
It's not too distracting. Like Crimson Desert, that would be way too distracting.
You're not going to pay attention. You're like, wait, did it happen? Shit,
I missed it.
Boss. But that's cool. So Artemis is happening on Wednesday. Cool.
Yep, Wednesday at 6:24 is when the launch window opens.
Morning?
I'm going to be live for hours at night.
At night. Oh, okay. So in the evening. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, in the evening. So I'm going to be live probably sometime in the afternoon, sometime after.
You've been waiting
Daily
months for
Dive,
this.
bro.
You've been waiting.
It's finally fucking happening, and
That's cool.
It's awesome. The changes in the Artemis plan, the moon base plans, they're absolutely insane, and it looks like they might actually pull them off.
Nice.
Like this isn't just some fanciful dreaming. They've done the work. They put in the work.
This is cool stuff. This is the next step that people have been dreaming of for 20 years.
They've been dreaming of this moon base since Apollo.
But you know what I mean?
Like 2001 Space Odyssey is like, yeah,
you know what I mean?
1999 will be.
You
on
know what
the
I mean?
moon.
Since we entered the 21st century and the technology kept improving, it's like, why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we going up? Farther?
Honestly, the answer is SpaceX, the reusable rockets, and Starship, because they're partnering, and Starship is going to be vital.
Elon.
For example, most spacecraft can carry up to 3 people. That's the average. Starship is made to carry 100. So just as a matter of scale, how much larger payloads we're getting,
and you get teams up there more than just
teams, personnel, and it could be that many people or cargo space. It's kind of a depending on how much you need. So moon base is legitimately possible, but I'm not as optimistic as them. I'd say 2040.
Well,
like a permanent.
I'll be an older man.
I'd volunteer. I'd volunteer, even if it was just like, hey, yeah, you're never coming back. You're going to evolve too much, adapt to the moon, and never be able to survive Earth gravity again. I'd still go. I'd still go.
I got too much I got to do down here. I can't do it. I'll take a visit. I'd go for a visit. I wouldn't be afraid to go for a visit, but
yeah,
I got too much to do down here.
I just hope William Shatner lives long enough to go to the moon.
Oh man,
That'd be nice.
That would.
The moon will be a really good retirement community for a lot of older people. There is a hard learning curve adapting to low gravity and stuff like that. But if you're able to do that, the wear on your body is a whole lot less. So retirement communities on the moon, you could legitimately see people.
We're gonna send our old people to the moon. That's there. That dude. That just sounds wrong. It sounds wrong.
We're shipping him off. It's better than Moon is a harsh mistress, which do you guys how Australia was created as a prison colony, right?
Yeah.
Moon is a harsh mistress. Is what if we did that with the moon?
We could send commie Marxists to the moon, except not exactly. They'll miss it and just keep going.
Oh no! What happened? We'll try again. Sorry to the 100 commies that are lost in space.
Yeah, that was just the test. That was the test batch. The worst.
We'll get it right next time.
Yeah. Well, that's their phrase. We'll get it right next time. That's it. So we're just abiding by their rules. We'll get it right next time. Yeah.
We're going with the success rate of communism for these launches.
Yeah. For the commies. Regular launches, we'll get it right at first time. No problem. But sorry, missed the target. You're heading towards the sun now. Good luck.
I think they should have that to Uranus.
I don't want to hear about Uranus. Anyway, Dre.
I'm so glad that you gentlemen are in a good mood today. This is a glorious day.
Yeah.
I am not in the best mood, unfortunately.
Did you watch Daredevil?
You watched Daredevil?
I did.
Yeah.
I watched Daredevil. I did.
Was it batch dropped?
No. They're doing this. So like next week is going to be 2 episodes, and they're going to be one until May. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Rough.
Mistakes were made. I made a terrible mistake.
Oh yeah.
It receded into my body. I don't have a penis anymore. It's gone.
Okay.
I've never been that bored before in my life.
Really?
I've never been that bored for 45 minutes. I was bored to tears. That was a rough watch.
Rage at all, or just
apathy set in after the first 8 minutes. I just couldn't believe what I was watching. Like to be fair, it's acted phenomenally. Charlie Cox, he's doing his thing. Mr. Nofio's doing an excellent job, and Wall. Everybody showed up for work. However, when they showed up for work, the internet didn't work.
Oh.
The project manager had a hangover. Like everyone else made a horrible error except for the ones that actually did their jobs well. This was a big old waste. To say that there's a plot is laughable.
There is a plot. Ice. There's a plot. I don't think it started this one. Did it arrive yet?
I mean, they definitely went head on to it with the propaganda machine and all that stuff. But even with their bizarre way of looking at ice or whatever the case may be, the logistics of it still doesn't even make any sense. Even as far as the world is concerned, like it can't happen because apparently there's a time skip from the first season to now. It's 6 months, so it's been 6 months that the anti-vigilante task squad have been just raiding people's houses and dragging them out in the streets. And in this episode, the attorney general finally shows up. What?
That's not how
Where have you been?
How much power does the mayor of New York actually have?
Apparently more than the attorney general and the lieutenant governor. You explain this to me, Jed. You explain that to me. How does that happen? That like now the lieutenant governor and the district attorney show up and like, hey, we noticed that you're doing some rough stuff.
You keep going. I'm gonna be right back.
Well, my answer to that is that's the product of writers who don't do research. Research should be step one.
I hate everything about this show. And then they're insulting me by using my favorite Daredevil costume on the Shadowland, the all black with the red double D. I love that. And like, once again, costume designers did an excellent job. The cinematography did an excellent job. It's like everybody that was a part of the show that wasn't part of the creative team did a great job. But
Everyone
the
but
most
the
important
writers.
part, everybody but the writers, directors, and producers. Everyone else showed up for work and deserves their paychecks. But what was given to them it's just so ridiculous. And freaking Elaine from Seinfeld, like apparently a phone call from her overrides the lieutenant governors and overrides the state government. I don't know what I'm watching.
Oh, Thunderbolts made her out to be God. Like, she's more powerful than Nick Fury ever was.
I don't understand. But okay, when it comes to superhero nonsense, fine. This is legislative. This is legislative and the judicial branches. The FBI or CIA, whatever part she's a part of, got nothing to do with this. This is civil liberties. This has got nothing to do with secret missions and sending superpower people to their deaths. It's got nothing to do with that. But a call from her means that the lieutenant governor now is going to back the mayor? In what universe does that even make sense?
I got nothing.
I haven't forgiven them for killing Foggy, so I've been out on Born Again for a long time.
Oh, he's coming back. He's coming
I'm telling
back.
you. And then
I don't want him to come back. Like the way I've heard he's coming back, I want nothing to do with that. Foggy was my favorite character from the Netflix show, and having him die like that. My question, Dre, how are they handling Bullseye? Because from the trailers, it looks like that actor's doing a great job. But I don't know.
Once again, Jed, I have to give credit. Everybody has showed up to work. Actors, lighting, camera operators, everyone, costume designers, everyone has showed up except for the creative team. They slept at home.
Dre, as we said last week, remember, this is the better version.
Can you imagine?
It's the more definitive version.
Like everything that like once again, Bullseye's being handled as far as acting is concerned, very, very well. Very, very well. Everything about him works as far as the actor is concerned.
Right.
Story makes absolutely no sense at all, but that's part of the course. But what they're doing with this show is an abomination. And now the ex-girlfriend, whose name isn't even worth remembering, that was from the first season.
Oh,
apparently,
yeah.
Apparently,
she a vigilante.
Matt
now?
Murdock is supposed to be missing and or presumed dead. That's the idea. Missing or presumed dead. Apparently, she's moved on real quick and is now helping Kingpin frame vigilantes in for psychological, basically saying that they're all crazy people. I'm sitting there like, did I watch the same show? Because yes, Muse tried to kill her, but Daredevil saved her. But she's on a brigade to get rid of the heroes. Is there something missing in between? Because now she's having flashbacks and she has PTSD and she sees Muse everywhere. And once again, cinematography. Great job when showing the breaking of her mind, tilting the camera. People showed up for work. But none of this makes any sense. And the plot, and I use this term very loosely, Daredevil infiltrates a boat that has weapons being smuggled into it. The captain realizes that, I have orders to dump the crates into the river if we get boarded.
Huh?
Not the Boston Tea Party.
What are we?
I mean, you gotta find them.
The boat is sticking out of the river the whole episode. I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, this is what we're going to use to frame. I mean, to prove that he's corrupt by he's shipping in weapons. He's been doing that since Netflix, baby. He's been doing that the whole time. But this time, because he's bringing in armaments. He's already taken over the city, declared martial law, and has his own elite squad that is dragging regular people out their homes. You think weapons is what's going to take him down?
Arms dealing, which he got a charge in what, season 1 of the
Yes!
Netflix show?
It's
That was
season
one of the
1.
charges, was arms dealing.
So what are we talking about? Like, okay, he's bringing weapons.
The convicted arms dealer is an arms dealer. Wow.
I can't, that's what I'm saying. Like the mess is just embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, and it was so embarrassing that it didn't even trend. That's how bad this show has fallen off.
Well, the first season didn't rate either.
Oh, and this season sure shit ain't. But important question, Dre. Where's Spider-Man? Because you
You're
think
asking
he'd
a very
care
good
about
question.
something like
Jed?
Mayor Fisk's.
Jed, I think I'm a prophet. I might have to crack open the Bible and see if they say ye old Dre is in the book. I have to go and check it out because guess what? They already buried the freaking lead. We know that the black Mexican is going to end up becoming mayor. And sure enough, she's in the show and she's the only one with a conscience. I'm like, could you have held off the trailer? Or at least
Well,
cut
at least
short
cut
out?
that
need to
part
show
out.
that one scene.
Yeah, don't show her giving the key to the city to Spider-Man.
Or
You
use
buried
another
the lead.
angle.
You buried the lead. Now we know what happens in this show. Who is in
Wouldn't that been
charge?
interesting? Is a brand new day movie. The fourth movie wasn't about all this nonsense with Dark Phoenix. Wasn't with the Punisher or Savage Hole. Imagine if it was about taking down Mayor Fisk and it was a team up between.
Imagine
Daredevil and
if
Spider-Man.
Daredevil aborted again. Season 2 was an actual lead-in. Building. It's like,
Dude.
okay, maybe you do need to do this homework.
His cameo in No Way Home, people love that cameo. So having it set up an actual buddy cop movie with Daredevil and Spider-Man would have been great. Punisher and Spider-Man, no one really think about that.
Who cares? And
It's
this could have
rarity.
led right into Devil's Reign, which is a really good run. Am I the? Does no one think? Does no one like the people in the creative room? What is happening? There's got to be something.
Meth.
Oh, ooh, Turkish amphetamines for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just so done with the idea. Like, granted, I went into this show expecting nothing, but good Lord, you couldn't have sewn together something competent, at least watchable. It's so embarrassing. Like, it's an embarrassment. And that it's not even trending on Twitter. It's not trending anywhere. Like it's not
talking about it.
Trending anywhere. I'm just
talking
like,
about it.
bro, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. Be a shame.
Well,
Costume design's great though. The costume design.
at least, listen, you were objective about this. You pointed out where it worked, but if the story don't work, if the characters don't work, then it could look as pretty. It could be all Denis Villeneuve pretty, and it's still gonna be shit.
Yep.
But there are still going to be people who eat it up because it looks like comics, so it good.
Listen, there are people who will accept any slop on a plate because they operate under this thing as if you don't praise it, it'll go away forever. No, you must be critical. You must be constructively critical. And there's a difference between. We're going to get to this later in the show. It's a good preview now. There's a difference between being constructively critical and breeding rage into your audience to hate no matter what. And we're going to talk about some stuff today within the DNA of today's show where things that have now proven to be good, both financially and receptively, where there's audience goodwill. And when they started, there was manufactured hate, manufactured rage, and there's a breed of content creators out there who I believe purposefully train their audiences to go right to rage. And that is a question I want to ask today at some point. Has the world at large, who have been damaged for over 10 years now, dealing with the kind of shit you just described, either something that's nonsensical or agenda-driven crap, has the audience been reprogrammed to default setting of, I see this and I'm angry? Just rage without thought? And are there content creators who persist in that? There's a couple instances today in our discussions where I'm going to point that out, and then we'll come back to that question. But we've got a good day. Before we get started, though, howdy to the chat. You're all here, hanging out, having a good time. To the mods, good Sir Algram, and the Clanker, the Canadian Clanker himself, Legatus. Hell to Dash, hell to Zos on the Joxer, and anybody else just hanging out, not chatting. We're happy to have you here with us. Hit those like buttons, subscribe, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Okay, so we have told you the discussion question that I want you to be thinking about, and we'll touch on it several ways. Good news is the numbers is working again. So we're going to do a little box office roundup. It's mostly working. You do not see international breakdowns, but we don't really need that. All we need is the total right now. Right now, we don't need to know individual things. So we've got numbers working again. So we'll do a little bit of a box office roundup and what looks like to be a very, very successful start for Project Hail Mary. Then we've got things that happened this week. I didn't really get to cover them for a couple of different reasons. One, I kind of took the day off in the middle of the week for reasons. Secondly, also, you can't react to anything that's a Warner Brothers trailer. Otherwise, they claim you up the ear. And you need to go over stills. And I figure if I'm going to do a still review, I might as well bring the boys around and we'll talk about it that way instead of just me dragging it along for a reaction. So we've got the Harry Potter trailer dropped. And reactions have ensued. And it's not good. Yes, it's gotten a lot of views, but once again, views do not necessarily mean positivity. So we're going to check that out. We'll have a discussion. There's an extra bit of information that has been tacked on to the trailer release that I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to, and to me shows how broken television production has become, that they admit this statement that they're going to do this. At the same time, we will do a little bit of a celebratory victory lap, the official cancellation of Starfleet Academy. It's got one more season, but it is canceled. But it'll be a victory lap. We'll be dancing for joy. No matter how much rage and anger we get on that, we will simply laugh the whole way. It'll be stupid, but we'll laugh the whole way. And then we've got something fun. We are going to take some time. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. Then we got a question. We're going to do gaming. And I got a question. I've been seeing these stories. Fortnite might be in trouble. Fortnite seems like it's in trouble. They fired a bunch of people this week, 1,000. And they're talking about that the game's in decline. So I got a couple articles. They're from IGN, but they're sourced. They're not
fucking finally.
They're sourced. So we're gonna read these articles. I'm gonna ask the questions: is Fortnite dying? And the other question is the pay shop model where your game is free, but you gotta buy all this extra shit. Is that chicken finally coming home to roost? Is it? See, that's the thing. Is it happening? Are we seeing the cracks in the foundation? So we're going to look at this. We're going to see what they have to say. It might be another factor in this, because I found a third article that'd be a factor in this. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to explore it, because full disclosure, I don't play Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. I don't care about Fortnite. I've watched other people play Fortnite. I have zero emotion towards it. I do not care. So I feel as though I'm in a good place to make some commentary and to put this discussion forward. And then after that, and after discussion question, we're going to have some fun. Jed and myself, we are Gray Mains, and we have been playing Crimson Desert ad nauseam. I have, in a week, I've put 76 hours in already, both on stream and off stream. So I have put the time in, and I've only, according to my metrics on my PlayStation 5, I've only completed 22% of the game, and I'll put in 76 hours. And I'm still essentially in the first zone, Hernand. And I'm loving every second of it. So I played it, Jed played it. Dre, you can listen happily, whether or not you want to, whether it piques your interest. I know other people we know happily. Jeremy started it last night. He put 4 hours in last night on stream. Made some mistakes. Made the same errors I made. I've offered some quality of life tips for him. Not spoilers, just like he hasn't figured out the menu thing, Jed, where you can stack the items in the menu. He didn't
Oh
figure
yeah,
that out yet.
that's very useful.
Yeah, you don't miss
Love
anything. Everything's nice and organized, and it's your inventory is not cluttered. Oh, they also added we're not there. We're not there. Save it for later. Save it for later. But there's our show today, and we'll see where it goes. And of course, chat, we are happy to have you here. And anything you wish to contribute will be appreciated because you are as much a part of the show as we are. You make the show happen by being here. Okay, so why don't we warm up with box office? Let's do box office because that's how we start our show. I got first one here. This is now the official way to check on the failure that is Hoppers. Now that we have the numbers back up and strong. On its $150 million budget, this thing has been going for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks, and it's at 297. It's break even. It's going to be probably between 50 400. I'm going to say 400 is probably its break even. Does it get there? Look at what it's bringing in now. 4 weeks in. Does it get to $400 million?
It's down to just 1 million on certain weekdays, and that's usually what we see when things are puttering out. So I think we're only going to see, maybe for lucky, like 1 or 2 more 10 million plus weekends, and then it's dead. So I'm going to put it out here. I don't think it hits 400. I think it tops out around 350 or 375.
Okay, Trey.
Yeah, this joint does not see $400 million. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot this movie existed.
You and everybody else
did.
Yeah, and I saw a commercial or ad or whatever for this joint, like on like YouTube. Me and my son were like listening to music, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's the over the hedge sequel."
We
or
had
whatever.
that conversation.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I finally saw like a trailer. And right, it's a reaction to it. So the trailer was like it's the #1 movie that your mama hasn't seen yet. Look at all the golden women and all. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, one of the hype videos. But yeah, it did a whole lot of nothing. I think 350 is fair. Because it said 150 million, so let's say 2.5. So I think it breaks even, which is not a good thing, as we know.
This is.
But I think that's about it. I don't, because that means in order to hit 350, this don't have to be in theaters for another month.
It's not. No, they're going to pull this in a couple weeks.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah, it's almost done.
Yeah, 350 has to be the apex,
ceiling,
and that's being very, very generous. But 400 million, there's not in this.
No, you're saying, Dre, people don't care about mind controlling robot beavers to save the environment.
That's what this thing's about.
Yeah.
So and then the animals attack humanity.
Yep. So it is a woman putting her consciousness into a robot beaver. They make jokes about it in the trailer that it's kind of like Avatar. And it turns out that the mayor of this town, played by John Hamm, is destroying a dam or constructing a dam that will disrupt local ecosystems. And there's an animal uprising led by Robo Beaver to stop John Hamm.
And they make butterflies and these animals with their insects. This movie's crack and cocaine and heroin and meth mixed together.
Putting her brain in a beaver.
A 19-year-old and a 21-year-old Asian college student putting her brain in a
yeah. So it's an evil dam. I know that there's an evil dam involved, and
damn evil.
Damn evil. And they thought they were really clever about this, Dre, right? So you see in the poster right there, it has very animated features,
Pixar.
The big
eyes.
Yeah. Well, when humans are looking at the animals, they obviously don't understand the animal's language, right?
Of course.
But then their features are animeified or Pixarified to look like way more traditional.
Little dot instead of the expressive eyes are just dots.
Okay, so we as the audience only see the human features of these animals.
No, the human characters in the movie when they look at it.
Oh no, I'm talking about so we like we the watching, we see the expressive eyes and the happy smiles and stuff, but the people in the universe see them as like regular animals with dot eyes,
and the animals see each other as the over the top Pixar faces as well.
Yeah, that's dumb. I don't
but they thought it was profound.
In the brain of the robot beaver, she can now understand the animals.
Yep, just by being a robot beaver, she speaks animal.
Okay, so now she speaks to the squirrels and the chipmunks and stuff, and
Yeah.
convinces them to rise up against the evil capitalist
Unintentionally.
what I mean, but okay. I mean, tree huggers need their movies too, I guess.
Well, they didn't show up, and
There's
remember,
not many of them.
we
well,
were
tree huggers
told-
don't have money, Adam. Let's not.
Well,
forget that.
but Dre, we were told that this was the #1 animated movie ever this year,
yes,
and
that's
that
what I heard.
all
Since
the
the
little
last one.
children's that went to see this saw the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, and that was going to mean the Mandalorian Grogu is going to be successful because
Yep.
all the children's saw
Because
the
of
trailer.
hoppers.
The
That's from our
children-
favorite Jeremy at Manabite. That piece of
Oh
shit.
God,
He was the one
that
pushing
Mandalorian
narrative.
trailer is trash. It's
Yes.
really terrible.
And I bet there'll be one more piece of trash next month. But before we get to it, they'll drop one more. They got to.
they got to. Yeah.
They need to because there's zero excitement for that. It's more exciting for me going to embarrass myself for a day at a fucking theme park than it did for this movie. That's saying something.
It is
Something
saying
about
something.
so this is a disaster because at best they maybe inch out a break even. If the break even is between 350 and 400 million, they maybe eke out a break even enough for a Twizzler, enough to buy a Twizzler, and that's it. So this
I don't
thing's a
like
failure.
Twizzlers.
I never liked Twizzlers either. I'm not a fan.
Except the rainbow one. Rainbow Twizzlers are pretty good.
That's gay.
Red vines are better.
I
Red
don't like
Vi-
any of that stuff.
Red vines taste like old urine.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Don't
Not
ask
gonna
questions.
Ask.
Don't you do it, Adam?
Not-
Don't you do it?
Not. I'm going to keep going forward here and say now let's go from disaster to clear success. Project Hail Mary. 2 weeks in, $300 million,
Oh, that's some money.
and its break even is around 550, 600, right, Jed? That's around its break even.
So it's between 450 and 500.
455. Okay,
So
sorry.
I think
455.
500 is the easy kind of middle ground for
Yeah,
it. Because
so 500.
the budget after credits and stuff like that is 200 million. So
Okay.
it's usually about a 500.
Yeah,
million.
it says right here. There's the
450.
budget, and
Mhm.
here we are. Let's look at the box office. This thing has got the international still lagging, but domestic week to week. That's a pretty that's
not
pretty
a bad
cool.
drop.
Only a 32% drop. That is one
Friday
of the
to
best
Friday.
drops for a no, that's full weekend. That,
Oh, the week,
at
oh,
the
the week.
top-
You're right. You're right. That's right. You're
yeah,
right,
that's full weekend. Friday to Friday, it's 58%, so it's a little bit larger
Yeah.
for Friday to
Yeah.
Friday. But weekend to weekend, that 32% drop is one of the lowest for a blockbuster in the last decade or two. Like it's truly extraordinary that drop because of the word of the mouth and repeat
Yeah.
viewings. I've watched the movie 3 times. I'm going to watch it again a 4th time this week before Saturday Night Drive-In. I think our plan right now is once a week as long as it's in theaters. That's our plan right now. Legitimately.
Man,
and
I've never liked the movie that much. The
But
only movie
This is
I can remember doing that was I went to see Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. I saw that twice in the theater, and I saw Independence Day 3 times when I was a kid.
Oh, that's a great movie.
But
I
I mean,
like
I
Dead Man's
listen.
Chest.
I'm also
Good
not a
movie.
repeat goer. Once I've seen it, I'm happy to wait if I liked it to get it for my home collection. So I'm not really a repeat goer. Never have been.
And apparently, the directors have talked about how they showed an almost 4-hour cut to other filmmakers and friends like 6 months ago. And of course, everyone said, cut it down. That's too long for a theatrical release, which is fine. But that means that there's a 4-hour cut out.
There'll
And
be
so
a director's
the rumors
cut.
are the rumors are physical release director's cut, and the official leak, as official as leaks go, says if it crosses $1 billion, they might do a director's cut around Christmas in theaters. Because I would go watch that every week. That's in theaters too. I don't care if
Now,
it's 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm going for
that-
every second of it.
Would be a fascinating thing to do, considering it would essentially be head to head with Dune 3 and Doomsday.
It depends on when they want to release it and when they can get it done in time. So again, I'm sure not all those visual effects are done for that extra hour and a half. So it might be next March or something like that. But the idea is Christmas, trying to capitalize off of that, and it would be really funny to see it go head to head with them and see if it gets any IMAX screenings. Because this film is doing incredibly well. Yes, the budget's high, which is a tough hurdle to get over, but by comparison, so from the last decade or two, well, just overall, this is one of the highest performing non-franchise films ever. Its first weekend was the second highest non-franchise film ever, right behind Oppenheimer. It was, I think, $6 million opening weekend below Oppenheimer.
That's pretty
Its
good.
second week is $10 million above Oppenheimer. So now it's outpaced Oppenheimer, and it's Avatar 1. It nearly has as much domestically as Avatar 1 in its second week. It's made more money in 2026 than Avatar 3 has domestically. And it's insane. And Oppenheimer, it made nearly $1 billion in its entire run. So the industry estimations right now are it topping out around 600 million. And $1 billion isn't something that we can guarantee at this point, or even anything close to that. But I think getting near $1 billion it's warranted to have a conversation about it now, because it's outperforming Oppenheimer, which nearly got there. So $1 billion is legitimately on the table now. The word of mouth for this film is excellent. A 32% drop is historic. And for a non-franchise film, it's one of the highest grossing week 1 and week 2s ever. I think we could legitimately be seeing a huge resounding box office success here, and that'll affect the industry. When something like this that's non-franchise comes out, we're going to see some poor man copies of it the next few years. There will be studios trying to do the same thing.
But there's also a lesson that has not been learned, that I heard this week, and I want to bring it up to you. You just said the word franchise. People are saying, should they make a sequel?
So there's no plans for a sequel. Andy Weir said he's thought about a sequel, and he's thrown around some ideas, the book writer, about writing a sequel to it. But what he said, I have no good ideas that would live up to the first one. So right now there will be no sequel. But if he comes up with a good idea for it, he might. So that's what he does. Is he likes standalone science fiction stories. He's already working on his next book, which is another science fiction standalone. So if there were a sequel, we wouldn't be seeing the book for another decade probably. And movie, who knows if it would happen. So at this point, not going to happen. I would stake my money.
I wouldn't want it to happen. Not everything needs a sequel. Some things are fine on their own.
I think it would undo this film with its ending, which I love its ending. There are two things I wanted from the book that I didn't get that the movie gave me, and it was seeing Earth at the end. That wasn't in the book. That was one of them. And that just really wraps things up nicely, that I don't think we need anything else. What could the next story be about? So it does almost guarantee, though, that the Lord and Miller, the directors of this film, they were initially trying to make his second book into a film, Artemis, but that film isn't as well received as The Martian and Project Hail Mary. So there were funding issues, and it takes place almost entirely on the moon. So 1/6 gravity is actually a lot harder to do than 0 gravity. So there were some technical hurdles as well. But with the success of this, they're talking about making Artemis with Andy Weir. So that's, I think, what we're going to see next from this team, and the success of Project Hail Mary is making that happen. And I would love to see that. Artemis is going to be a harder pill to swallow. It's not going to be a mainline success because, as you saw, Adam, from both The Martian and Project Hail Mary, the movies did more so than the books, but he does a really good job using humor to make the hard science palatable. The repartee, the nice dialogue helps people not get, glazed eyes when he's talking about the hard science.
Yeah.
Artemis isn't funny. There's virtually no comedy in it, so people really start to check out from the science. It's perfect for me. I love it. But I realize that that's not going to be the same mainstream success. So Artemis has to be cheaper, and it won't be as successful. But I imagine that's going to be the first real consequence of Project Hail Mary's success that we're going to see. And then, of course, all the carbon copies, people trying to do the same thing. There might be a couple decent ones, but
there'll be a lot of stuff like that. And that's the lesson that no one ever learns. Don't try to rip something off. Don't try to, after Star Wars, how many Star Wars clones did we get in the 80s?
A lot.
That were just
yep. It's the same idea.
Yeah. So it's just, don't do it. The lesson should be do something original and don't worry about franchising it. Not everybody has the franchise gene in their creative makeup. Some people are just good at making a standalone story that wraps itself up and has no further need for expanding the lore, the world, the characters, anything like that. It's fine. Personally, myself, I live in the world of franchise. Of world. I build worlds in my mind. I have so much to do. But some people, they're just make that one thing. Just make the one thing and move on to your next one thing. And then you have a collection. It could be the collection of this person, but they don't have to be connected.
Yeah. And I would say that the track record for sequels that disappoint is way higher than sequels that impress. Like, how many times have we talked about, oh, there's only this many of a certain thing and it goes off the rails? We're
Just
lucky
talked
to
about it yesterday. Pacific Rim
Pacific
Uprising.
Rim. Yeah, that's an excellent one. The Matrix, most people talk about. I think that ending, you just need the first Matrix film. It's kind of the same thing with Project Hail Mary. Adding on would be a detriment to the original. There are, of course, standalones. There are exceptions like Star Wars. You needed Empire Strikes Back. New Hope was phenomenal, obviously, but that was a story that needed to continue. And yeah, we have way too many failures as sequels, but it's all a matter of restraint. That's what I talk about a lot. Hollywood doesn't have restraint. It's all egos, it's all money grabbing, and they're not willing to show restraint. That's why we saw Zack Snyder's DCEU go away, and then immediately James Gunn's DCU was announced. They're not willing to let anything rest, and that's what we need for the majority of these franchises.
Yeah.
And restraint is the answer. Restraint to not make sequels, restraint to put franchises on the shelves, and just restraint in the budget too. Make a bunch of small budget movies and then build from there.
Yeah, you can still make money on a small budget, which is why, speaking of these things shouldn't be less, it's why out of all the DC projects this year, Clayface is the only one that really has a chance to make any profit because it's such a small budget. It doesn't need to get very far.
Do we know the budget? I thought it was 100 million.
I thought it was like 60 million or something like that. It's really low. Look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
You got it. Okay.
Shit. Yeah, it's currently in the range of 40 to 45 million.
Yeah. Clayface has such a small budget. It will make money, despite probably being shit. It will make money.
You know what that means? You're not going to see him in his clay form that much in the movie. Then it might just be for the last few minutes of the film.
Well, it's a body. They're milking it as or pushing it, excuse me. They're pushing it, marketing it as a body horror movie. So you're going to watch him slowly turn into Clayface.
As long as they do practical effects, that would be
probably practical. Probably.
For that budget, I'll have to agree. There's practical effects involved. So,
yeah, but no Batman, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
Gives a fuck. But the
DC might make money by accident. Yeah,
the Guntards care though.
Because 7 people showed up because the movie calls about a shoestring and some chapstick.
At 40 million, its break even is probably 100 million with marketing.
If
it's
that
100 million, it'll probably break even that first weekend, just because it's the Guntards. There's enough of them to show up and make 100. I mean, worldwide, the worldwide budget, it'll make 100 million that first weekend combined. It might only make 150. But it'll break it. It'll be in profit that first weekend because it's a massive budget. But the ceiling for that movie is probably around $300 million. But Warner Brothers, DC Studios will make a profit. And the lesson to be learned is, don't spend a lot of money on your shit. But it's not going to be a blockbuster. It's not going to be some sort of Halloween go-to movie, November, whatever, Thanksgiving, whenever it's being shown. It's going to come out. It's going to fizzle and go away because at that point, there will be no goodwill. We've got Supergirl in 4 months. Then we've got Lanterns in August. There's no goodwill after that. Both that movie and that show are going to be disasters. And then Clayface will happen. No one's going to care. And then it's all about Man of Tomorrow next year. And then it's over because the deal will close. And James Gunn will be fired when they don't renew his contract. Go ahead.
And the answer is not getting Zack Snyder back in there. There's more people doing fake rumors and leaks that they're going to hire Zack Snyder back after James Gunn's
you know what the is? As you just said, put it to bed. Put it to bed for a while. Put it on the shelf. Go sleep.
It's okay to let things rest.
Yeah.
It's better losing money hand over fist because James Gunn's entire DCU, it's in the red hardcore overall. It's lost so much money. So what's better? Letting something sit on the shelf and not cost you any money, or actively throw away a few $100 million a year?
Yeah. And here's the thing. We talk about, perfect example, letting it rest. And hang on, I got to change one thing here because it's going to dox my ass. There we go. Letting things rest. Star Trek needs to be left alone now, because we got the victorious news this week, the official. We knew it already happened. Starfleet Academy has been canceled. Paramount, Skydance said, yeah, you didn't make, you spent all this money. You didn't chart once in the ratings on anything, not Nielsen, not Samba, nothing at all.
I don't even think they showed up on Parrot Analytics.
Oh god, that would be real. That would be really a thing. If you didn't even show up on Parrot Analytics, that'd be funny. And then all you did was cause controversy. You couldn't put a leash on Robert Picardo, who's been running around like a madman on social media. You had to bring in Kate Mulgrew. You had to roll out the Madrid, dust her off, and say, "Hey, Kate, can you back up Robert now?" Because they mentioned Voyager. Let's roll out Mulgrew. And then you had to put out the company man Frakes. You had to put all the company men and women, because there was cons last weekend with MegaCon and all that kind of stuff. Had to put everybody out there, say everything was great, it's fine. And then this week we got the news. Officially canceled. Which means there, as we talked about in the previous week, there is no longer any form, and I say that specifically, form of Star Trek currently in production. No TV, no movie. Paramount Skydance is exploring what they want to do next with Star Trek in the movies, but there now is no more Kurtzman Trek television being made, which leads me to conclude that the rumored talks for Kurtzman's extension fell through. Alex Kurtzman is likely, when this year ends, because his deal is set to end in 2027, he will not be given a contract renewal, and Kurtzman Trek will officially come to an end. But gentlemen, when one of these abominations gets canceled, there's two reactions. There's us, we cheer, we laugh, we point, we say we were right. Nobody watched your garbage. What do you think the stands are doing right now? Aside from coping, I pointed out some serious cope this week. What do you think they're doing right now?
Well, if I had to guess, which I know is absolutely true, they're banding together and trying to repeat the success of make the Hunt for Ben Solo petition real, the Renew the Acolyte Season 2 petition real. I think they're trying to recreate the utter majesty of those moments.
It's almost like you did homework when I didn't ask you to. I love it. Yeah. Petition. Here's our favorite guy, Christopher Cushman, who claims to be a part of Star Trek, but we proved he has no relationship to the actual franchise whatsoever. He has no involvement whatsoever. Remember that guy. Yeah, the petition. Renew Star Trek Starfleet Academy for a third season. Honestly, their fake uniforms look better than the shit we saw in the show.
Look better. And
it looks better.
Is that AI?
That's
AI.
AI. Total AI. That's total AI.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those suits are better. But
all right,
I'd forgotten who this guy was until you just started talking about it. But he didn't like Project Hail Mary until Rocky showed up to get his fifis involved. So I say fuck him. He's an idiot.
Oh, this guy's totally idiot. Now. This thing's been going for a week apparently now. Start of this week. How many, as of this moment, how many signatures do you think they have after a week?
11,200.
Dre, you want to guess?
8,962.
Man, you boys are lowballing. No, they're actually at 20,000 right now.
Oh, I had legitimately seen a 10,000 one yesterday.
That was the 10,000 one was from Wednesday. Yesterday was 18,000. So in another 24 hours, they managed to tack on another 2,000.
Wow.
We know this is. We know we did this dance with the Acolyte. As Jed, you pointed out, we did this dance. These petitions, first of all, they mean shit. Once a corpo has canceled something, it's done. Especially a corpo like Skydance, which is now looking to make money to make back all the money they just spent. Not let alone just Disney, who wastes money left and right. But nobody watched this show. 20,000 in a week. This is why your show didn't rate, because you don't have an audience. Kurtzman Trek stands are not an audience. But this is where we are. The pathetic nature of the stand base. When it doesn't go their way, let's make a petition, guys. Let's pretend everything's great. No, it's a failure. Complete and total failure. And we're vindicated.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so we got 20,000 people sign this petition, right? So let's just say hypothetically people. 20,000 people watch this show. And I think I'm high rolling.
Okay.
That ain't enough to move gas into my tank. What is 20,000 people on and once again, Paramount Plus may be the worst streaming service of all time outside of their Star Trek catalog, because I am enjoying DS9. Outside of that, if these are the numbers of who watched their show, should they write off season 2 and get a tax write-off?
I don't think they can, because it's already contract done. I don't think they can write it off.
Because they've already filmed it.
Yeah,
but I still have to air this garbage. It's going to cost me money.
It depends on the marketing budget. Marketing is really the only thing they have left to spend on.
Because it's all been front loaded. They've spent all the money on the show already. It's been spent. So
okay, logistically speaking, let's say they don't put advertisement, which I wouldn't.
No.
This would just be taking up server space with zero viewership. 20,000 people is zero viewership.
Essentially. Yeah. When we talk about million minutes watched is what we need for these things, or this thing needs a good 5 million views overnight. Not that we can get those numbers to justify its own existence. 20,000, and they're all already subscribers, obviously, if they care about a season 2. So they've seen season 1. So this number literally means nothing to Paramount.
These are not new subscribers. That's a good way to put it.
These are existing subscribers. So none of these numbers represent revenue.
And once again, like we've had this conversation several times about how streaming services cannot make money because the model doesn't make any sense. The only one that made money was Netflix because they were geniuses and made money based off all their licensing fees with all those other films and stuff they used to have.
They're still coasting off of that, but
absolutely 110%. 100%. Why would you even do this to yourselves? As a Christian, what kind like no one loves torturing themselves more than Christians do. But good Lord Almighty, what are you doing?
Now
you're not making money.
No,
the fan base, and I use that term very loosely, that you had that had all the goodwill in the 80s and 90s and all that stuff. They're gone. They're watching reruns like myself. I'm enjoying watching DS9. I'm having myself a good time.
I'm watching DS9 tonight.
I'm enjoying DS9. And then after DS9, you know what I'm going to watch? I'm going to rewatch Enterprise.
Oh, Enterprise.
I didn't like Enterprise back in the day.
Perhaps you judged it too harshly.
Perhaps I did.
Xindi arc is good, though. The Xindi arc is good. I like the Xindi arc. The Xindi arc.
I have to go, and that's what's next on my list. I'm going to go back and watch Enterprise because I clearly, I know for certainty, judged it too harshly because I was still hung up on DS9 and Voyager. But I'm going to go back and watch back all the stuff from before any of the Kurtzman got involved or J.J. Abrams. All these mindless morons. These are the people this is when people that were really creative, Rick Bergman, geniuses, people that knew what they were doing when creating TV shows.
It's what we say, Brandon Braga. Perhaps we judge you too harshly.
Indeed.
I mean, Braga, we hated him back in the day. Yep. I would sacrifice other people's firstborns to get Brandon Braga back in. See, I said other people, not my own. Not my own, other people.
Yeah, but but this is might be the saddest thing I've ever seen. I've seen petitions for cons to create characters that get more signatures than this.
The Gina Carano signatures got way higher than this.
Ariel's pointing it out. TOS had thing. There's a difference. You bring it up. Dre made the point. This is streaming. Petitions back in the day to networks. That's a different thing because if the petitions worked for networks and shows an increase of attention outside your viewership, then that means there's an audience to be tapped. So that's why petitions back in the day actually worked. And what happened, and the petition didn't save TOS. Nothing came back until the movie. And it was kept alive by fans just watching, building the lore books like that. And then when motion picture and beyond, then Star Trek found its new traction again and was able to march forward into history where it has lived for 60 years as its original stuff great, Curse of Trek shit.
Point is, what year did the motion picture come out?
77.
I thought it was 79.
78, 79. After Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was getting the information for.
Yeah.
Because, Star Wars could have legitimately helped the studios.
Hell,
realize,
Star
hey,
Wars
we
helped
can-
everything.
Yeah,
Star Wars helped
it's
everything.
like maybe we can invest in sci-fi. Let's dust off what we have. Oh, we have Star Trek. Let's try that again.
Yeah. And they had to convince Nimoy to come back. They had to do a lot of work to get it to happen. But Star
It's
Trek
funny.
found its
Nimoy
footing again.
needed to be convinced every step of the way to be, Spock and come back after Search for Spock or for Search for Spock. But he's been in more Star Trek than anybody else.
Well, yeah, and so it's great. Star Trek is great, but the point is, this proves that there is no Kurtzman Trek fan base. They don't exist. They go on social media, they scream and they shout a lot. They pretend that everything's happy. They talk about how great this is. 10 of 10. I saw a post yesterday night. I didn't bookmark it because what's the point? But I can describe it to you. Some rando Stan account listing 6 of the 10 episodes. 10 out of 10, I cried. 10 out of 10, I cried. These are the people that watch.
Saying it's the best Star Trek ever. I saw a lot of Stan saying peak, better than any other.
Best first season ever. It's great. How dare you destroy a new generation of Star Trek? You'll never get it again. You don't understand. We destroyed this on purpose because this wasn't Star Trek. This was never Star Trek. People saying the people say it's all Star Trek, just like it's all Star Wars. No.
There's a pretty clear dividing line. Bad reboot, not bad reboot. And the quality is self-evident from that point.
I mean, I bring it up once again. Picard season 3. Picard season 1 and 2, nightmares. I haven't actually seen them, but I've watched recaps and Brad has explained it to me plenty of times.
You don't like that Picard died and became a robot?
No, I don't. But that's an unfortunate reality in Cursor Trek. Picard in season 2 and 3 is a synth with the download of his memories in there. But
they made his new body an old man.
Old man, yeah, they made it old man. That's the thing. Now, but here's the thing, though. You get to season 3, where season 1 and 2 were such a disaster, Kurtzman didn't even want to be associated with his own disaster anymore. He fucked off to do Strange New Worlds and Academy. He fucked right off and said, "Oh, Terry, hey, Terry Matalas, here you go. You make it happen. We're going to leave it at this. We're not going to monitor you. We're not going to do anything." Terry Matalas left alone with literally a couple of nickels to rub together that might alchemically create more nickels. If he just rubs them really hard, they might mate and spawn. Basically created the closest thing to real Star Trek we've seen in 15 years. And during the process of it, distanced himself as much as he could from Kurtzman Trek nonsense. Couldn't get around a couple of things, but made fun of them, openly mocked it, and the show was praised and enjoyed by millions. So much so that the fans wanted a fake show to happen called Star Trek Legacy, which there was never ever anything for Star Trek Legacy. There never was.
Oh, Kurtzman would never have allowed it to happen.
And that's why he went straight
His
to
ego.
Academy. Because he had to override the goodwill. He had to override the success of Terry Matalas because Terry Matalas made him look like a fool. Made him look
That's why he
stupid.
doesn't let anyone who's more talented than him work on Star Trek. Because Legatus is putting it in the chat. Andy Weir, the author of Project Hail Mary, had a great comment that's there. All modern science fiction shows and movies have been heavily influenced by the original Star Trek, except for the current batch of Star Trek shows. There's actually more information to that. He pitched a Star Trek show to Kurtzman directly and that entire team at Paramount. Yeah, he goes into detail. I had a plan for it. I got on a Zoom call with all of them, pitched it, and they ignored him, completely rejected him, even though he was riding off the success of The Martian. Like he said, he did this 2016, 2017.
So he had goodwill and he had some leverage.
He had goodwill. He had leverage. Discovery was just starting. It was at the great opportunity to start expanding, try other things, get other people involved. And Alex Kurtzman apparently, according to Andy, was a super nice guy, but has no idea what he's talking about. No idea. Like Andy was not holding back. He's like, this guy, super nice, doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Fuck them all because they wouldn't take my pitch. Like,
Here's the thing: Andy Weir has nothing but goodwill on his side. For in current moment here and now, Andy Weir has basically played the game perfectly. He made his 2 movies, doesn't talk about anything outside his movies in his books. Even talks to people that might be flagged as improper. He just did an interview with Critical Drinker last week.
That's where all this information comes from. Drinker asked him about Star Trek, and it's being picked up by everyone. Like Variety's talking about this interview and everything. Yeah. And he also talked about, he was specifically asked, my job is not to preach to you. I'm first and foremost an entertainer, and I like the sandbox of hard science. So I teach hard science, but the goal is still to entertain. So he specifically addressed the preachiness of Hollywood and talked about how him and his team were trying to do things differently. So he understands the game.
He's got goodwill on side. He knows who the audience is. He knows who the customers are. And he's talking right to them. And I didn't know that line came out of the Drinker interview because I didn't watch the Drinker interview. But this makes it very clear. You're right. Alex Kurtzman will not talk to people who have a better understanding, or he'll fuck off knowing that he's left them in a terrible situation like Terry Matalas. Yet Terry Matalas found a way to literally rebuild the bridge of the Enterprise D with the grooves and everything in the wood.
Well, Alex Kurtzman, I believe the reason he did Picard was for a very insidious reason. So when Discovery was coming out and all that, people were wanting traditional Star Trek. And he got fed up with that type of complaint. So he decided to renew something that was a continuation of TNG with Picard and make it as bad as possible to say, see, no one actually cares about the nostalgia. Going forward in a new direction is the more successful thing. And I think there's that aspect of insidiousness. And then Terry Matalas proved him wrong. Yeah. And so he's doing everything he can to still prove, hey, going in the new direction is what we want. No one cares about nostalgia. He's still riding that party line.
Outside of guys like Ron D. Moore and Iris Bear who worked on it, Terry Matalas was there. He worked on DS9 and Voyager. He was there. He worked with the guys who created real Star Trek, so he knows what it looks like. He knows what it feels like. And Terry Matalas already proven success with his own shows, 12 Monkeys, stuff like that. He's a proven showrunner, proven writer. He can get it done, and he loves Star Trek. So he got it together. He made it happen. He knows what the crew of the Enterprise D looks and sounds like. He knows what the characters, what new characters should feel like, and he gave something fun. And it's not a perfect show, but it's as close to Star Trek as we had gotten since the end of the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Would you trust him to take over the whole franchise?
Yes.
Like the new Alex Kurtzman?
I would, because he gives it, like I said, we're talking about a man who used every bit of money he had left to rebuild the bridge of the Enterprise D to look like the original
top priority. Yeah.
I mean,
and I think budgetary constraints are important.
Yeah.
Nearly every time we've heard of a project that was like blank check, spend as much money as you want, they're usually crap. But the ones with the smaller budgets where they have to get more creative with spending their money.
Yeah.
Gold comes out of that.
So if they said, if Paramount Skydance went to Terry Matalas and basically pulled him away from Disney, who he's working for now, and said, listen, we'll put you in charge of Star Trek, and you can reboot everything post Voyager. You can wipe out Kurtzman Trek, because that would have to be it. You have to let it rest for a couple years, work on some scripts, put some ideas together.
Do you think you would decanonize Picard season 3?
You have to. I
know we think he has to, but do you think he would be willing to?
I think if you haven't watched it yet, so I can't tell you exactly. There, he makes fun of the previous 2 seasons in that. So he already knows he was working with damaged goods, and he made the best he could. He would have to, because you can't. If Picard wasn't a synth, you could get away with it. But Picard being a synth remains a connection to Kurtzman Trek. That is the one thing. That is the one most damaging thing about Picard season 3. That it's synth Picard. That he's not. It's not him, and he has to. He could not get away from that. That if you somehow remove that, then Picard season 3 would work. If you removed the synth aspect and found another way to complete the plot arc that involves that, Picard season 3 would work and could remain a part of Star Trek lore. That would make it even better then, because then it's
Just make it season 1 of Legacy with a little bit of
no, then
edit.
it's no, then it's officially the epilogue to the crew of the Enterprise D
Okay.
and E. It's well, we could say the D and the E. It's the epilogue to their story. It's truly the epilogue then, their final adventure, and turning it over to their children, their next generation, stuff like that. But it's not. Well, Kirk is. You do see Kirk's body. Well, you see the life signs of Kirk's body in season 3 when they're looking. Yeah, it's awesome. It basically he also reached generations. He said, "Fuck you, generations." Kirk isn't dead; he's alive. We saved the body. So not to spoil it, they're in what's the institution called? Brad was here; he would remember it. Particular sign, the Daystrom Institute. They're at the Daystrom space station. They're hunting for something. They don't know what yet. And when they walk by something, it says James T. Kirk, and there's life signs pulsing on the screen. Yes. There's also a meat-eating tribble when you see its teeth. It's just a jump scare. Don't shake your head. It's awesome. It was great. It was funny. But
Treble's still it's really dumb, but it's fun. Treble, the Tribbles
yeah,
dumb, but
they were ridiculous in TOS, but that's one of the best episodes of DS9.
Oh, dude, that is
what they do with DS9 is really fun.
That's a 10 out of 10 episode right there, because
it's
that's
really
all
fun.
Especially the ending with Cisco and
else?
Kirk talking to each other.
Can I just have your signature, please? Like, the
we would have
special
all
effects-
done that.
The special effects they did in that episode for the blending that was amazing for that era.
It was really
incredible, seamless.
That's a really good episode.
And
Really
Terry
good
Farrell in
really
a
like
short skirt.
Man, I just saw that episode maybe 2 weeks ago. And my goodness.
So are you in season 7 right now?
No, I'm in season 6 right now. So I'm in season 6 right now.
You're about to hit the moment where sometimes I just stop. I just stopped at the end of season 6. It's still too soon.
It's too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
I will never get over it. Never.
Yeah, I just watched the Jesus Christ. He didn't time travel, but the coma episode, as I like to call it, for Cisco when he's back in the 50s.
Benny.
Yeah, when he's been
Benny.
Benny. Yeah, I just watched that, and I remember like years ago, I remember skipping that episode because there's like nothing. It's like for me at the time, being younger brain, I didn't really do anything for me.
But it's a really well episode.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good episode, especially at the end when he has his monologue about like being a human being. And I was like, man, this is some powerful
I think Avery
stuff.
Brooks directed that episode. I think he directed it.
I can believe it. Because he was getting his Shakespearean on.
That would have been the worst episode of a modern show, though.
Can you imagine? And I think that's what made that episode so good. Because I'm taking my brain to how this will be framed today, and that will be the most obnoxious piece of garbage that I would ever lay my eyes on. But when you have mature people that can talk about a very, very hardcore topic and a sensitive issue and do it with grace, masterfulness, and no pandering, everybody from every race or culture can understand and connect. The episode is phenomenal. Granted,
yes, he did direct that episode.
He did.
Avery Brooks directed that episode. Yeah.
Yep. I thought that episode was really good.
I love how many Star Trek actors got into directing for all 3 generations.
LeVar Burton is an excellent director.
LeVar Burton did a lot of the the Kardashian conflict episodes and all that stuff like that. So it's good stuff. Man, I miss
Frakes is a good director. But it's
Man.
still there. You're enjoying it right now.
I am. I'm having a great time. Great time.
We're watching a crap episode tonight. It's the one Bashir's 30th birthday where the that thing mind fucks him and he gets older in his own mind. Yeah, that's not a good episode.
Yeah.
I keep going with my watch long because in TNG I just watched the DS9 episode that has Bashir in it briefly.
Data has a dream.
I was like, I need to fucking watch DS9 now.
You could start because you're lined up.
I'm getting close. I'm gonna finish TNG before I switch over.
You have to. You should.
Yeah,
and
then I'm gonna intercut the movies like a season of DS9, even though it doesn't line up perfectly. the
I mean,
movies
you can
don't
do
really
it.
make a huge impact.
Well, yeah, except the introduction of certain aspects. But yeah, it's
And like
it
when
works.
bringing Worf over
Yeah.
into the
Yeah,
show, like
yeah.
the movies.
You see the Defined in First Contact, and you have to
It's
line
not
that up
big
in
enough
season
that I'm worried
5.
about.
But yeah, you don't
ruining
matter.
my
You're not doing a
experience.
continuity watch like that. You're just But
I didn't actually like
good.
Bashir during my first DS9 watch. Like, it took me a good 3 or 4 seasons to care about him at all. But seeing him in
We have a
TNG, I'm like,
joke.
wow, this guy's great.
We have a joke on Wormhole Watch where we go, Julian, no. Where we started with Jason, him always hitting on women, hitting on Dax. Julian, no. And
Julian, no.
Julian, no. And here's the thing, though. Now, I hope Hitman and Fractured, if you're watching today's stream, go away right now. I'm going to spoil shit. Right now, leave and come back in 20 minutes. So they don't know. They have no idea what's going to happen. So they don't know that in some point in season 5, between the beginning of the season and the events of First Contact, that Bashir gets replaced by Changeling. They're not going to know that. So the moment you get the uniform change, where it's the gray uniforms, that's Changeling Bashir, because when they find him at the Klingon prison camp, he's wearing the previous uniform. So I'm going to be making jokes going, Julian, no. And I'm going to be making sure that Brad knows this so that we can come back and say, yeah, that was actually Changeling Julian, no. It's going to be great. And I can't wait for their reaction for that. It's going to be fascinating. Also, again, since if they're watching, I told them to go away. Hitman is a Cardassian sympathizer. He's a Cardassian sympathizer.
Well, he can go.
Spoonhands could do no wrong. Gul Dukat is a pinnacle of manhood and respectability. He's a family man. He hates Bajorans.
He is
Brad
a
and I
great
are
character.
Oh, Dukat is one of the best villains of all time.
He's
Dukat
really
is one
good.
of the
He's
greatest
really
villains in television history.
And
but we are
I
counting
can't stand
down...
Bajorans, but Cardassians are still evil.
Oh, stop it. Anyway, we're counting down the moment until Hitman learns that Dukat has a half-breed Bajoran daughter. We have a joke, A to Z. Her name is Zial, and Brad and I talk about all things A to Z. We have been doing that for almost over a year now, and that Hitman has no idea what's coming, and we are getting there. We're getting so close to the reveal of Zial, and he's going to lose his shit. And it's going to be great, and Brad's going to record it. It'll be a Latin Lounge episode. It'll be fantastic. And
I lost it. I don't know how. I'm not trying to say too much. I know Jet was gonna rewatch it, but
I've seen it before. Yeah.
Okay, but when they took back DS9 and Ziel got murdered, I even though I kind of forgot that happened.
Yeah.
And I literally jumped up and went like, "No!" I literally jumped up out of my chair.
Gareth was falling in love with her, man.
Yeah.
It's just,
and like my son looked at me like, "Daddy, what happened? What happened?" I'm like,
"Oh man, what's going on? I don't understand."
I'm like, they killed her. I was like,
never trust a spoonhead.
Exactly. And I sat there. I was like, kill him, Dukat, kill him. I was like, wait, no, he's not gonna kill him yet. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. Wait a minute, get yourself together. It's not 1996. Get yourself together, man. And
is that good that it can reconjure these greater emotions than modern TV on a rewatch?
Seriously,
you still get the feels. I still get the feels. Listen, I in another year or so, when we get to season 6 finale and Dukat kills Jadzia, I'm gonna have to go have a moment by myself and be sad. I still don't recover that, all because Terry Farrell decided to go do freaking Ted Danson show.
Yeah.
Becker.
Yeah.
One more season.
That's all she needed to last one more. But I mean, they did it the right way.
I know.
Like, as far as the show is concerned, they did it the right way.
And they did some interesting things.
Honestly, I would have said, I mean, yeah, they had Ezri, and it's not Nicole DeBoer's fault. I would have just had Dax not come back.
Yeah, I would have done.
I would. That's what I'm going to say that on Wormhole Watch in a couple of years when we get there. I'm going to say, listen, I would have made the decision. Let's not bring back Dax.
Bringing back Baby Trill was.
I mean, it gave.
I don't think that.
It's starting for Worf, and Julian finally got him some, but I would have just. No, I should have moved on. I wouldn't have killed the Dax symbiote, but I would have moved it on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think that would have been the better option.
Yeah.
But but still, it still made for interesting television.
Yeah, look what we've done. Tangent. Talk about Star Trek. It's great. This is the nerdgasm stuff right there.
Adam, what you're saying is it'd be better if Dax went off field duty and started teaching at Starfleet Academy, maybe?
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
I once again, I would not lay my eyes on that filth. Because I'm a Christian and I will not do that to myself. But yeah.
So you're not allowed to like Lord of the Rings then. That makes sense why you don't like Lord of the Rings then.
Oh.
Wait, is that how that works?
All right, Great. Are you aware of what happened this week? I guess we'll transition to that. Dre, aware what happened this week? You know what happened with Lord of the Rings this week? Since you don't follow Lord of the Rings.
Yes, I do know what happened.
Okay, so
yes,
there's
I do.
multiple things with that, Dre.
Multiple. There's there.
I don't know if you know about it all.
Another conversation then. So to our discussion topic. Then we'll jump to that. So we got the announcement midweek that Stephen Colbert has decided to work with Peter Jackson's crew, Philippa Boyens, all of them, to make a sequel to The Lord of the Rings.
Which is a feminist hobbit drama.
Sure. Oh, here's the point, though. Tolkien decided not to do it. So Stephen Colbert, who, listen, objectively speaking, he is a fan. Probably a bigger fan than I am because I'm a casual. I'm not hardcore Lord of the Rings. He
doesn't have integrity, but he does know the lore.
I can be objective and say he's probably a fan. But Jed, I made this commentary when I talked about it on Thursday, or was it Friday? I don't remember anymore. It was Thursday. Just because your fans do not make the best choices for continuing something if they get their hands on it, because we have biases. We have things we like and things we hate. And a creator may love or hate things that they've created, but they have their own plan and they can put them aside usually if they kill their darlings, like Jed always talks about. To kill your darlings properly, you can continue the story the way it should be without favoritism. But a fan who likes things to go a certain way will always do it wrong. My perfect example is Star Wars, EU, the Vong War, New Jedi Order. I would not have killed off Anakin Solo. I wouldn't have done it. I would have let him live. I would have found a way to live, even maybe found a way to bring him back because I liked him as a character. But they had the balls to kill him, and they had to have consequences. They had to have tension. Things had to have reactions. There had to be a reason. There had to be losses in that war. And killing off a Solo, a Jedi like that, a young Jedi, it meant something. And it also was part of Jason's fall, that Jason couldn't save his brother. It began the fall of Jason Solo. As a fan, I wouldn't have been able to do it, and I would have found a way to undo it. And that's why, for example, as much as I love Star Wars, know Star Wars, live it, breathe it, think it, I understand it, I can't write it because I'll make the Jedi be gods and win all the time because that's what I want. That's what I want. I want the heroes to win like that. So I do not have proper perspective. And I argue that Stephen Colbert does not have proper perspective. Jed, am I wrong in saying this?
I would agree that he doesn't have proper perspective, but I think being a fan to a certain degree, like we talk about all the time, is important for creators picking up another franchise because they care. They know what the fans want in certain aspects, what's important, what's not important. And so the way I see it is when you're taking over a franchise, the man in charge needs three things. He needs to be a fan, he needs to have integrity, and he needs to have talent. Those are the big three things. And that's practically a unicorn at this point. But this time we've got someone who is a fan with Stephen Colbert. Last time with Rings of Power, we got people without integrity, without being fans, and without any talent.
That shit too. He loved that shit too.
That's what I mean. That's why I want to say I don't think he has the right perspective because his integrity has allowed him to sacrifice the thing he loves for the current day aspect of it. So I think being a fan is important, but it has to be tempered. It has to be in control.
What I'm saying is it has to, that's why I think the fan shouldn't actually be writing it. The fan should be there as the person who checks to make sure it works.
Yeah, you should have a lore advisor, but I do think that there is a degree of fan that needs to happen. There could be a level to it, like you're too big of a Star Wars fan.
Don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
No. There are degrees of fans, and some degrees are too big, too small. Like I wouldn't do Star Wars because I'm not big enough a fan, and you're too big of a fan to be a Star Wars writer.
Yeah,
But
and I can admit that.
just like with everything, there has to be a balance. And Stephen Colbert doesn't have a balance in any of those three categories that I said.
But
So,
as an adult fan now, and I'm capable of turning off that of my subjectivity if I want to great things, but I could tap into the nerd lore side of me and say this feels right, this feels wrong. That is the extent of, I was always said, if I was ever get involved with any of these franchises, be it Star Wars, Star Trek, stuff like that, and those are the two I can really put forward because I have so much amassed knowledge of both those franchises. I would like to be in a position of, as you said, advising.
Every franchise needs a lore expert, someone like a
guy. I can tell you if this works. I can tell you if it retcons something that you just saying, you just fucked this up. You can't do that. You just fucked something up. You can't have a fucking Trill live 1,000 years with the symbiont because symbionts don't
that's a
live
good
that long.
example of it. So I love Star Trek, and I feel like I understand Star Trek a lot from a writing standpoint. So I would trust myself to write Star Trek, but I also realize I'm not an expert on the lore. So I feel like I would have the enough of a fan of that, the integrity and the talent to do that. But I would still have you come in as a fan expert, or someone like Brad coming in as
Brad
the expert.
knows so much minutia that I don't even know.
But then that comes into the integrity part, because a person with integrity will be able to admit and put aside their ego to say, I don't know this well enough to do it alone. So I would have a lore advisor.
How many times did I have to admit during Where No Man Wants to Go reviews that I said, yeah, my Voyager, I'm forgetting shit. I can admit that. It's like, I don't remember. You had to correct me. Was it you that had to correct? No, it was Derby had to correct me on Anime Odyssey the other day on a One Piece lore that I had gotten wrong and I'd forgotten. I remembered the result, but I didn't remember the incident concerning Sanji and Pudding. And that sounds weird to you guys, but don't worry. She's a character. She has 3 eyes, and she was a villain for a while. Point is, I forgot a part because Whole Cake Island is an arc I haven't revisited in my rewatchings. And also, everything Wano wiped away one Whole Cake at the time. But I remember every little piece of Wano. It's weird how that works. But I can admit when I forget something. And if you say, I forgot it, then somebody should go, okay, he admitted it. Well, we're not going to give stress. And he took the criticism, and Dermy remembered it, so we were fine. Point is, you have to have lore people. I agree with that completely. And that's where I think a fan is most important. Being there. I mean, Dre, if they're advising the writers for Daredevil aborted season 2, could you have saved it?
So I have 2 things to say. I was listening to both you guys.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with you both, and I kind of disagree with you both.
Okay.
So like Adam, like in your case, I think for me, I think it depends on what kind of fan you are.
Okay.
I think if first of all, let's just take Steve Colbert for a second. I don't know if he can write. I don't know if he has a creative bone in his body. I know he's a quote unquote comedian, but I'm not even gonna.
He's got no writing experience.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna push that to the side for the sake of simplicity. I believe if you are a fan of, I think it's very important for you to be a fan of the material that you're going to be writing. I believe that if you're a fan, let's take Lord of the Rings. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I think you still have to have a level of objectivity when it comes to direction. And if you do not have that skill, as far as objectivity for direction, I think you can write, but don't direct the project. I think that's where the line will be drawn. But if you can have objectivity and not go back and try to retcon or turn things into fan fiction, I think it can be done quite well. Now, I believe that, like I myself, I've been a fan of comics for thousands of years at this point. And if I was going to be put in charge of a project, I know for certainty my fandom will not allow me to write trash. That's where my belief is. It will not allow me to write trash. Will I write some stuff that's really fun that I would want to see on the screen? Of course, I am human, but I would not do that to the sacrifice of what came before. Now, I think comics are a little bit easier because there's always different timelines, different ways of doing things, blah, 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 blah. But when you have lore that is pretty much in stone, like Tolkien's work and things of that nature, that's not up for interpretation, I think the level of fandom that you need will be to the literature and not the media that comes from the literature. I think if you stay true to the literature itself and just focus on. I'm pretty sure I'm saying this wrong. Appendices. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Focus on
those are
those. Yeah, and focus on that, and be able to just expound on the things that that Peter Jackson didn't, or maybe he didn't have the budget or time or whatever went into it, and then really emphasize that to still connect well with his world that he built. I think you can have something really good. I think it'd be well, but once again, you have to be a very, very talented writer, producer, and director to try to do that. So
and you have to
I don't
pick a
think
time
they're
frame
heading
that's
for it.
interesting. Dre, do you know where this takes place and how it takes place, like the story?
No, I'm not entirely sure. Oh wait,
So-
wait. It's wait, hold on. It's during the first movie.
No,
No, second.
That's
the
the
second
other
one.
one.
The second
No,
one. Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
I don't remember.
You're thinking of the Hunt for Gollum,
References.
which
Reference-
that's the next
Hunt for
Lord of the
Gollum,
Rings
okay.
movie coming out,
Okay.
and that is during the first movie. But this
Okay.
new one that Stephen Colbert is working on, it takes place 18 years after the main events of Return of the King. So after
Okay, after
you
the
know,
third
rings-
movie's done.
18
Frodo
years
is
after
left.
the
Frodo is left.
destruction of the ring. It's 14
Everybody-
years after Frodo sailed away.
Yeah.
So it's 14 years after Frodo left. The main character is Sam's oldest daughter, a teenage hobbit,
Stop you right
and
there.
it's her uncovering some secrets of the ring to find out that the war for the ring was nearly lost before it even began, and uncovering deep, dark secrets that have been hidden in the Shire the whole time. So it's a teenage feminist hobbit drama.
I have a question. Is this lore accurate?
No. Well,
No,
Stephen Colbert's drawing
Tolkien doesn't-
inspiration from a couple of chapters that he really liked
Yeah.
in Fellowship.
There were some chapters of Fellowship of the Ring, 3 through 8, I believe, that didn't get a whole lot of focus because of, the constraints of the movie. So he's trying to take aspects of those and put them 18, 20 years after when they were supposed to take place.
And so
But
we
yeah,
have
that's
a
what I mean by
lady
the
hobbit.
integrity.
Yeah, and so
And-
like when you say something like that, then I have to stick with my first statement and saying that he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't write,
Mhm.
and like you said, Jed, he has no integrity. Because me, I once again, I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I understand there's books and books and books that haven't even been touched in film and stuff like that.
Well,
And they're all prequels. So Tolkien specifically didn't want to write anything after the end of Lord of the Rings. Return of the King was the end of the franchise. He did
Yeah, that
plenty of
makes
stuff
perfect
before
sense.
that.
Someday
And there is
there'll
the
be
appendices with
the
little
last
notes
battle.
like Legolas and Gimli met up in the year 14 whatever. and
Yeah.
hung out for a
Gimli
little
was
bit.
given
There's-
special. He was given his privilege to go to Valinor.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And
There was a couple little
Yeah.
things in the appendices, but they're just
And-
blips of what happened. That's all that
and-
we know of what happened after Return of the King.
and there's references that one day the last battle will happen where Morgoth might be freed from his prison, did Morgoth die, or they've just imprisoned him?
No, he's imprisoned.
Morgoth will be free from his prison, and there'll be one final war in heaven and stuff like that. And the question is, will all these
the reason
things
that
happen?
hasn't happened, and that's what the reason he didn't write that is that's supposed to be in our future. So Dre, if you
that's
didn't know this,
I'm not saying that's the end. That's actually Ragnarok, is what it is.
yeah.
It's
So
Ragnarok.
in Tolkien's lore, he's trying to replace all the missing English mythology, right? But it is fundamentally Christian, like capital G Christian God is in it. His
Mhm.
name's Iluvatar in it, and it is supposed to be a prequel to our history. So everything that happened in Middle Earth was happening 10,000 years ago or whatnot.
Gotcha.
And then there's present day humans, everything like that. So that battle with Morgoth that Adam's talking about is the Christian second coming of Jesus that hasn't happened in our
Like the
time yet.
Battle of Armageddon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus
So
comes
that's
back
why
to-
he never wrote about that, because that
Yeah.
not supposed to happen yet by our
Okay, that
time.
makes sense
Yeah.
because
And-
if memory serves me correct, he was Christian and he had
And
a lot
yes,
of Christian
very
writers.
Catholic.
Devout
Yeah.
Catholic, and that's the next part of
Yeah.
this thing. Right on the heels of this, we all know who Jack Posobiec is, right?
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Political
Yes, yes, yes.
commentator. Well, I'll say this: right-wing grifter. He is a right-wing grifter. He's on some stream. I don't know whose stream it was, and I didn't actually intend on going into this. I don't have any assets, so we're just going to talk
It's
about
not important to go too
Yeah.
deep.
He said that Lord of the Rings is inherently pagan.
That's not true.
It's anti-Christian.
It's anti-Christian.
And his
pagan.
argument is there's no prophet, there's no prayer, and no redemption. Even though Gandalf is a prophet, they do pray. Capital G, or Gandalf is an angel, excuse me.
Yeah, he's an angel.
And Yeah, Gandalf is an angel. He's actually an angel come to Earth. And Sauron is a fallen angel as well. The Balrog. The Balrog and Gandalf are actually the same class of angel. They're the same type of thing. Just manifested.
The thing is, Gandalf and all the wizards, they have limiters on them. They cannot access their full power
because they're not supposed to rule man. They're specifically designed on Earth to be support roles.
So the Balrog is like a demon fallen angel.
He's the same thing Gandalf is, just fallen. But because he fell and accept the limitations, he's more powerful than Gandalf should be. But Gandalf, but voluntarily took
all that stuff. So we just said it. The Professor Tolkien, a devout Catholic, wrote this stuff for not only history but with heavy religious overtones.
Yeah,
and Jack Posobiec comes out and says it's pagan in nature, it's anti-Christian, blah blah blah. Well, that kind of lit a fire under people's front days. And then you have grifters like John Delarose defending him, saying he deserves an apology. According to Wiki, he deserves an apology.
To be fair, he did take a lot of inspiration from Norse mythology, because Norse mythology had great stories, but it's the morality and spiritualism of Christianity with the bolstering of the stories of Norse. So it is fundamentally Christian.
But that's the point. You can't call it, when you say something is pagan to Christians, you're saying this thing is unholy.
The word pagan has massive negative connotations.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't believe it should, but it does.
I asked this question and sent me down a very ranty rabbit hole on Friday. You were there, know what happened. I'm not going to reiterate that kind of stuff because it went in a direction I don't really want to go in on this particular show. I asked this question: what on earth possesses somebody like Jack Posobiec to wake up in the morning and say something like that, which he has to know, unless he's a complete fucking moron, is so untrue, is so drastically untrue. And the only conclusion I can come to, and now here's our discussion question, that they do it to specifically make people angry and create drama. We're not talking about the drama aspect because that's a whole different conversation. I don't want to get into that. But people like that post something like that because they know there's a certain sect that will either get angry at them or get angry with them, attacking the woke and all that kind of shit. And we see it on creators in our sphere. We see it on social media posters, all kind of stuff. And I have to ask this question. With now the examples, we'll use this. I use the example of Project Hail Mary that Jed and I have talked about recently. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. We talk about Lesbian and Crimson Desert. These things that are, once you get into them and look at them for real, are not shit. They have quality to them, either well made, well written, well constructed, well produced, all those kinds of things. But you hear one little detraction of a negativity towards it. And certain people rush to say, fuck this, fuck that, it's terrible, you should be angry. Here's my reasons you should be angry. And since you follow me, you have to be angry just like me. And it's the trigger of making everybody's default setting rage. There are rage baiters exist. I mean, the people we push back against on the stand side, the shill side, call us rage baiters across the board. No, especially I would like to say us three gentlemen here, we're critical. We're highly critical of the things we understand, the things we have been fans of for decades in some cases. So we have the knowledge and experience to say this is wrong. This is why it's wrong. I'm not being angry for no reason. I'm not being angry just to get people to look at me. I'm angry as a passionate fan. But there are people out there, I will argue, and I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to start drama. I'm just going to say there are people out there who have social media accounts on multiple platforms who exist purely to make people angry so they watch their videos. There are actual rage baiters out there, and they don't actually give a damn. Or their give a damn stops at a certain point, and it's more greed than giving damn. And hey, make money. I want to make money. I like money. I'd love to make more money on my channel right now. But I have, as Jed mentioned earlier, something called integrity. I am not simply going to give in and say, oh, I'm going to call this shit because guess what? It'll get me attention and it'll get me clicks. If something is bad, proper, righteous rage is necessary. Like when Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power happened. When Rings of Power happened, that was pure righteous anger that it galvanized everybody in that moment. We were losing. We were losing the culture war until Rings of Power, and you pissed off the wrong fan base, the Tolkien fan base, who would not sit back and take it lightly. And we drew the lines of the battlefield, and we pushed back, and we won. And we've seen win after win after win after that. And we are now in the driver's seat, but of course the battle is not over. Point is, my question there for now, as I've said it, have people lost their way? Are people too ready just to be angry rather than be objective? Are we at that point where where people just want to be angry at everything?
Jed,
Well, perfect.
One of you, go.
Well, I think this year, and the years to come are very much the light is coming out. The light shine. Just like you said, there's hope for the culture war. There's hope for good entertainment. And that's going to reveal the more parasitic elements of this community that were fostered in that righteous anger that you're talking about. I think this started way back even last year with Expedition 33, but it continues with Crimson Desert and Project Hail Mary. That in the era of the sequel trilogy for Star Wars, 2016 through 2020, there was so much bad that everyone was legitimately angry about a lot of things. And the people who wanted to be that and nothing else or could profit from that, they kind of slipped through the cracks. We didn't realize what they were. But now that there are true examples of positivity, of talent coming out, we're starting to see those elements, those insidious elements, for what they are. So I think there is a massive rage baiting problem in this, in the culture war. And yes, there are those who are entirely disingenuous. I mean, just listen to some of the arguments for the Lord of the Rings thing currently. I don't know if you saw this argument, Adam, but there was someone on Twitter I saw arguing for Jack Pasovic's position, saying if it were a Christian story, Gollum would have been the hero. Tolkien doesn't leave room for redemption. So Gollum, if it were a Christian story, Gollum would have redeemed himself and turned back into a hobbit-like creature at the end, and his soul would have been purified. If that didn't happen, it's not a Christian story.
No, think about Tolkien. No, but the core is that there's good and there's evil, and Gollum was
that's what
evil.
I mean. That's a terrible argument.
Yeah.
And yeah, the lack of redemption for one character doesn't mean there weren't redemption elements for other people. And so, yeah, I find that to be entirely disingenuous and so poorly argued that it is nothing other than rage bait. And to answer the question specifically, I do think, unfortunately, after 6 years, 7 years of conditioning for good reasons to hate everything that came out, a lot of people are stuck in that same cycle. And it will take them something truly great that is in their vein of enjoyment to break free of that cycle. We all have like Expedition 33. I consider that a white pill for me on gaming. It was so good that I'm like, all right, gaming can really still be great. What's coming next? And so I think it's going to take a lot of normal people in this sphere, in this culture war, time to transition out of that cycle when something that they truly care about comes out and they can recognize it's good. But it's going to be different places for different people. And these more insidious elements that are latching onto that rage and fostering it, they're going to diminish over the next few years. It is not a model that is designed for success anymore. The rage of the culture war is losing its monetary appeal. So I think we're in for some great entertainment. Still going to be plenty of bad entertainment. But I think fundamentally, if we do not support the good entertainment that's coming out, we will lose ground in the culture war.
There's a point. Let me say that, and then I'll let Dre say his piece. That's an excellent point. When something is good, by coming out and disingenuously attacking it because of one little thing that in the end, and we'll use Crimson Desert as the example, did it have a slightly messy launch? Slightly messy. There was some quality, a few small quality of life problems that gave critics, prior to people getting their hands on it, to improperly paint a picture of a broken game. I mean, IGN already has been torn apart for their bad review of painting this game as broken, this, that, and giving it a 6 out of 10 and all that kind of crap. And the Metacritic score of 78. And people were, they were gaslit into thinking this thing was going to be a disaster. But then we all got our hands on it. And those of us who knew what the game was going to be got into it. I knew right away, as soon as I was free to move, I was going to F off in a direction, a random choice, and find adventure. And it's exactly what I did in the first night. You guys were there. We had a little bit of technical difficulties because OBS wasn't quite optimized for the game, but I fixed it. We haven't had a complaint since. But we had fun. I had fun, and we've had fun since. I have put in 76 hours in that game at this point, and I've barely done really anything. And you focus where you want to focus. That's the beauty of it. We'll talk about that in a bit. But people jumped on that negativity after a couple of hours saying, I regret that I spent the money on this. This game is broken. It's broken like No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 77. Well, first of all, you show you're a liar. No Man's Sky wasn't broken. No Man's Sky just didn't have shit to do when it first came out. The game worked fine. There was just it was an empty galaxy is what it was. And Cyberpunk 2077, yeah, that thing was broken to hell. But it did get fixed. So
it was fundamentally an enjoyable game that people wanted. So yeah, once it was fixed, it satisfied its fans 100%, and it's successful now. It has made profit now.
Yeah. So that's the rage bait examples that go out there. They say that shit. Same with Project Hail Mary. You try to put it out there, but you have to understand. I don't want to divert too much. I want to get to Dre. My point is this: when you falsely put out negative points in the beginning, you might ruin the chance for the good stuff because you didn't properly play the good stuff or watch the good stuff, because the people who are so wedded to the rage baiting marshaled their forces to be angry, and then they didn't get it.
It's all a snowball effect. You got to snowball the good. When something's good, like you always say with Square Enix, you support the good so that they can continue. So these studios know what the right choice is. These studios aren't, they're behemoths. So they need to see continued support to say, all right, people are responding well to this. We'll do more of that. That's how big companies work. And so if you're just raging at everything, they're going to keep experimenting or keep doing what they've been doing.
And some of the criticisms for the quality of life Crimson Desert were warranted. And what did Pearl Abyss do? Within a week, there's been 3 patches this week already. 2 or 3 patches. Big one last night. And they have been great patches, a lot of quality of life improvements. And right away, the Steam results jumped to mostly positive from mixed. The people deleted them.
Because people are responding to it.
And it was good. And even people I know who in our sphere have been critical stuff, they're loving the game too. Most people who knew what this game was are into it. It's not for everybody. This game is not for everybody. It is for some people. It's not open world exploration, fuck around. It's not for them. But it's still a good game. And
there's the delusional aspect of all this as well. Like people seeing phantoms on the wall. There are the rage baiters, but there are people who I think are legitimately a little bit delusional about this. Because I don't know if I mentioned last week, so Dre may not know about this argument, but people are trying to say that Project Hail Mary is woke because Rocky is brown in color. So it's a metaphor about how we should let all the Mexicans in. That's complete nonsense, especially because the book was written in 2020, so it wasn't about ice. It's anti-ice or whatever. It's like, no, he's a rock. Of course he's fucking brown. And so that's delusional, and the rage baiters are fueling that as well. But if we don't support things that we like, and like I'm not saying go watch Project Hail Mary just because, and even if you don't like it, watch it 5 times like I am. No, like if you legitimately like it like I do, you support it, so we get more stuff like this. That's the only way that behemoths like Hollywood and gaming studios move, is repeated. Hey, this is working. Let's do more of that.
It's a classic result to hand. Reward the successes. Okay,
so it's snowballs.
Everything y'all said, y'all hitting the nail on the head. As far as my answer goes, I believe that rage baiting is still the flavor of the month, which is unfortunate. Either side doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're pro or against, anti, whatever. Seeing everything as an opportunity, like, oh, that's woke, so that means this is garbage, or seeing something like, oh, that doesn't have. Well, then again, on the other side, everything's problematic. Those people, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Rage baiting is what people use in order not only to get clicks, but to make it feel like their opinions matter. Because usually the sensible people are the ones that are ignored, usually, because they have something sensible to say. They have logistics, mathematics, science to back up, or whatever the case may be. And people are like, oh, that person's smart. But people dive into foolishness. and that's what people are going to, or creators, use that term loosely, are going to use in order to garnish attention. Now, here's the problem: things that are good, as you mentioned, need to be lauded as good, objectively good. Even if you're not a fan of something, you can still say something's good. We've had this conversation a bazillion times. But the rage baiting is a big problem, because once again, this comes to conditioning. It comes to conditioning, because for the better part of almost 10 years, media has been garbage, and everything has been tilted a certain political spectrum or whatever the case may be, and people that were excluded on that political spectrum were pissed for a very, very, very long time.
And we've been attacked.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Do you agree with this? Well, no, I live my own life. Well, then you must die. Like, whoa, wait a minute. I just said I just like chocolate ice cream. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so so much fervor and so much rage on the other side of, if you don't like this, we're gonna ruin your life and yada yada yada. This is now the backlash of being victims. It's fair, being victims of a totalitarianistic, communistic ideology. It's the backlash of that. Now, here's the issue: is that a lot of people are so desensitized to what's good because they haven't tasted good in so long that they're looking for something bad, even when something that they're enjoying. There is no nuance anymore. And when it comes to, oh, I can understand where this person might be coming from. Oh, I see why that might have been included. Yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, I don't really like that. But the movies or whatever still works for me. For these folks, because they were on the freaking blunt end of that rifle for so long, if there's even a hint or a whisper of like, oh, that's it. Oh, there it is. That means the whole thing's trash. We gotta get the dump truck. Let's get rid of it. Let's it's the inverse. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we are. That's just where we are in society. But for me, I like to enjoy things. I like fun. So if I'm having fun, I can turn my brain off and enjoy it. Or if it's something that really piques my interest, like I'm watching Primal for the first time.
Okay.
And I just finished watching the first 2 seasons. I really enjoy that show. Really do enjoy it. And because once again, Gennady Tarkovsky is a genius, but outside of that, it gives me something that molds my brain. It makes my brain want to feel things that I usually don't feel watching other things. And so there'll be elements of the show that I don't really like. It doesn't have to do anything with wokeism or anything like that. But I don't then turn on the show and say, this is the worst show I've ever seen in my life. Oh, why did they make this decision? It's not worth it. It's not really worth it. But I like fun. So I know how to be able to excuse certain things. That's not egregious, obviously, but excuse.
Good example. Last night when we were talking Pacific Rim, they throw a climate change loop in there at one point. Do you roll your eyes and cringe? Yes, but it doesn't ruin the movie.
Yeah.
It's still giant robots and kaiju beating the shit out of each other.
Exactly.
Why we're here.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm here for robots doing big robot things. If the robots are removed and I just get speeches, then we're going to have ourselves a problem. If you're using Pacific Rim as an avenue to push your communist propaganda, and I don't get robots beating sea creatures in the face, now there's a reason for rage because you lied to me. But if you're delivering robot battles and you want to talk about the ozone, okay, fine, whatever. Let's see some lasers. Exactly. So I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So I think, and just to comment real quick, Ariel, I'm ignoring the hell out of you right now. what you're doing in chat. I'm ignoring you hard. Anyway, point is this though. I can't disagree with either of your statements and your breakdowns of it. But I bring this up because I wish more people would call it out. That's one of the reasons I'm laser focused on it. I think it was one thing when we had to all rally ourselves around 2018, 2019, 2021, up until about 23 when the tide started to turn. You needed the anger, because that's what got people to the front lines, what got people talking. It's what got attention. But here we are. As we've said repeatedly, the culture war is not over. It is not won. It will never be won. It will always be a battle. But you can push the boundaries, push the border, and control enough territory that you keep your enemy in check. They don't have you decrease their ability to influence the media. That's where independent creation comes in, all that kind of stuff. That's why we keep talking about real Star Trek, real Star Wars, so that we remind the public the shit is there and the good stuff will always overshadow it and stand over it. But now is the time, as Jed has said in the past, for a return to objectivity. Be righteously angry at what's forward. There was proper righteous anger in reaction to Starfleet Academy. It was total shit. But now that it's over, we got the win. That's the win. It got canceled. Now
100%.
Now talk about real Star Trek again.
Yep.
We tangented for 15 minutes on real Star Trek today. We just, without even breaking a sweat, we just pivoted for no reason. Boom. Talking about real Star Trek for 10, 15 minutes, being happy nerds. It's time to now then also critically examine things coming out. Critically examine the fact that end of the year, Dune 3. Yeah, y'all might really like it, but I'm allowed to critically say that it's an abomination to the actual lore. I'm allowed to say that. And everybody's going to slobber that thing, but I'm allowed to say that. It's not going to be a popular opinion, though, because it's the objective truth. You could subjectively love it, but understand what you're loving is not the real thing. Mandalorian and Grogu, Supergirl, all these things are going to come out. These things which have been baking for years in some cases, they're going to come out. They're going to be dog shit. We are going to rip them apart because these are especially with Mandalorian and Grogu, that is the last vestiges of Disney Star Wars that is creeping around, turning into zombies, pulling them from the ground and going, "Argh." That is what they are, what that is. Supergirl, that's James Gunn. That's a separate situation. That is not so much wokeism, but a man's narcissism is what that is. That's a different section. We're not angry at James Gunn because he is pushing agenda so much. We're angry at him because he's destroying things that are cool by reshaping them how he wants to do it. That's why we're angry.
Yeah.
We're not
agenda isn't the beginning and end of all problems in Hollywood. Yeah. Sometimes there's just untalented people giving too much power or people with too much ego to let things be done right. I'm praying for the era when we can just, make fun of the writing. Because how often do you and I talk about agenda anymore? The three of us talk about agenda. It's not all that often.
Yeah. I mean, now Academy was packed with it. That was different.
Yeah,
because that's a holdover. But
the Academy, they're not going to recognize the good movies from this year. Like Project Hail Mary will not qualify for Best Picture.
Not diverse.
Ryan Gosling, they did race swap a French dude in it, but it's a background character, doesn't matter. And they were never specific in the book. They just said he was French. But that's their diversity.
Jed, I would much prefer in April, May, June, July, in 4 months' time, when we get to the Odyssey, I would much prefer to be saying whether or not it's just good on the merits of the writing. But Nolan has done so much extra shit in there that there are a lot of points we have to likely criticize. That Black Trojans, not Trojans, sorry. Yeah, well, maybe Black Greeks, stuff like that. Zendaya is Athena, which, it's a god.
It's one of the worst castings in human history.
All those things in that movie. I would love nothing more than to criticize, he didn't quite grasp the mythology of it. But no, there's going to be more to that conversation. And it's not, and it's because for some reason Nolan made these choices. And Nolan's not particularly an agenda-driven guy. Not particularly.
He just shouldn't be adapting things. Fundamentally, I think he's great when he's coming up with original material, just like Guillermo del Toro, like we talked about. Original works, he's going to come up with something great. But as much as I love the Dark Knight trilogy, it is not accurate to the source material. I'm sure.
No, which is why I don't like it. That's why I don't enjoy it. I don't like it because it doesn't feel like Batman to me. I'm not saying they're not good movies, especially the first two are well-made movies. Third one's a piece of shit. But the first two are well-made movies and well-shot movies. But I do not feel like I'm watching Batman. I feel like I'm watching Christian Bale.
Oppenheimer and Dunkirk. I think those are two of his weakest movies. And for accuracy's sake, Oppenheimer has some historical issues, some significant historical issues.
Mm.
Nowhere near as big as what we're seeing with the Odyssey. But I think most people agree Nolan's 3 best films are Prestige, Inception, and Interstellar.
I can agree with that. Having seen all those
100%
movies now.
original. I haven't seen his Memento. Memento is kind of just Memento's weird. It's not something that I ever feel the need to rewatch, but I think it's good. The one before that, though, with Robin Williams, I haven't seen that one, so I can't speak to that film.
Well, not. I want to get. We've talked this one to death, and I want to move on to our last couple topics of the day, real quick. So I want to get away from this, but I think we've come to consensus that the rage baiters do it because people have been conditioned at this point, and it's unfortunate. And I think it is inherent. It is imperative for us to try and change. That's what I do on my channel. That's why on this show we approach topics in a certain way where we talk about it. We don't just get angry. Sometimes the rage happens. It's going to happen when we get pissed off. But we might get pissed off with the next segment. Although I don't think we're really going to, so I don't think we're all hardcore Potterheads. But there needs to be recognition that there's a problem, and the people who are doing this stuff, I wish they weren't rewarded the way they were, but I
heavily rewarded.
But if I go too hard on it, I would look like a petty man because they're successful and I'm not right now. So I restrain myself and I keep myself to comment on the fact that these are people who are not creative. These are people who are, a lot of them, ass lickers and yes men and notice me senpais who take other people's opinions and make them their own. They have no original thought, and then they craft rage bait videos and streams purely to keep people angry. And they should be called out for it, not rewarded. But unfortunately, it's essentially, it is capitalism. People want to be angry, so they're going to watch the rage, and you give people what they want. I think people need to be recoded. They need to be readapted.
It shows a lack of integrity because, like you said, a lot of these rage baiters don't care. It's about the money they get from it.
Make your money, but be honest about it. Just be honest.
And
be honest. Don't pretend that you care.
Dre, just real quick, I saw your reaction. Of course, Dark Knight needs to be included in Nolan's best film category as well. But that's the one adaptation one that he has that's at the pinnacle.
Jed was talking non-adaptation.
Yes, I figured. I said, okay, I know.
Yeah,
what Jed is
you know, Dark Knight. Absolutely, I fucking love the Dark Knight. That's like my favorite comic book film of all time, and so that one needs to be up there. But that's his one adaptation one, and Batman Begins that really hold up to his non-adaptation work. His 2 historical ones have a lot of issues.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing.
So,
all right. So
I saw that face, right? You needed to address it. Dark Knight is fantastic.
We all right. So we've gone that. So now we mentioned it. And I don't know how long we're gonna spend us. Shit. You know what? I'm gonna bump the Fortnite thing to next week. I'm gonna bump that to next week because we're already over time, and I want to talk Harry Potter, and I want to just have a little fun at the end. So we'll do I want to give the Fortnite thing another week to book. I'm gonna cook for a week. So I don't think
anyone cares strongly about it. So
no, it was just a question I want to ask. That's the thing. I just want to explore it because I think it's an interesting thing to explore in the gaming industry. But we might be light on topics next week, so I'm gonna bump that one to next week. I'll adjust the title in a moment here while we're talking about next week. So, but we do have to talk about the Harry Potter trailer that dropped. Full disclosure, none of us are Potterheads, are we? Not really.
Not huge. I'd say I'm probably the biggest Potterhead, and a lot of that is
your
by
wife.
marriage.
Yeah, your wife. Yeah, Rachel is very into it, and so, but it's more by association, osmosis. But
even before her, I know Harry Potter fairly well. I remember the books fairly well. Yeah,
I never read the actual first 2 books because the movies were very accurate and for a sense for the main point.
Incredibly
so
accurate,
I skipped those. Now I have read the books going forward. I read all the books like that.
Well, Goblet of Fire is my favorite book.
I read all those books. I read the books. I haven't read them multiple times. I've read Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows multiple times at a certain point, just because they were so. It was the apex. The end of it.
I've read the books a couple times and listened to them a couple times, and of
but
course,
I don't have. To my point, that I don't have Star Wars, Star Trek recall knowledge for Harry Potter,
right?
The way I do for those. I do not have that. because I didn't really commit much of it to memory outside of main events. But I was originally, as we documented in the past, I was excited when they announced the TV series because I thought, this is it. We'll get those super accurate adaptations. They're going to stick to the books. I'm going to get all that stuff. Maybe I'll become a bigger fan by watching this stuff because I'm not a fan of the movies as they go on. I find them distasteful. If others were here that yell at me, they could, but point aside, I don't like them. I'd never watched the movies in years. I've only seen Deathly Hallows probably twice because that really butchered. Those two parts really. Well, the first part was actually, it's the second half where they really butchered the back half of the story, the final act. Point is, I was excited. And here we are, a couple years later, and I'm not excited for the reasons we all know. Casting, Black Snape, red flags about what they're going to do with the story. I'm hearing now, after seeing this trailer, they're adding scenes that weren't in the book. I mean,
there are several scenes that we know are getting added. We know of at least 3. The Flamels are going to be in it. They should not be in any material, especially not both Flamels. The gentleman who.
Your picture is all fucked up right now. You're 8-bit Jed right now.
Is it? Jed. You guys look great.
Yeah. You're all messed up right now. Maybe go off camera. There you go. Yeah, okay. So go.
Is that all right?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I just want to say that.
Yeah, we know of at least. Sorry. We know of at least 3 things that are going to be added to the first season. One is the Flamels are going to be in it, which, for those of you who don't know, Nicholas Flamel is the gentleman who created the Philosopher's Stone. And he does die after the events of the film, but he's not in the books at all. He should not be here, especially not his wife. So there's that's been added, and they have film stuff at Malfoy Manor, and Lucius has been cast already.
Yeah,
so Lucius Malfoy is already going to be in it. It looks like they're going to make Draco sympathetic early and show him being like a bullied at home by his dad.
Here's the problem with that. With the exception of the beginning of Half-Blood Prince, the entire book is always from Harry's perspective. You're never outside of Harry's point of view. And that's going to be a difficult ask right now. And you should make Draco a dick until the very end. He should be, because that's the way it was written. Now, we got this trailer. Have we all seen the trailer? We all watched at least once?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't watch it because, one, I don't even have it shared audio, but we will get hit. So we'll just drag through it. So essentially, it's showing all the special events, Harry in the cupboard, being abused. It looks way more modern than 1990s, though, cutting of the hair. Here's the invitation to Hogwarts. We hit on a subway. Hagrid and Harry on a subway. Jed. What? That I don't remember that.
Neither do I.
Okay.
And Jed's gone forever.
Yeah,
we lost him.
We lost him. All right, so I don't remember this. And we just keep going. You get the stuff. We get the Scar stuff. I'll see you. Here's the station. Here's Mama Weasley and Ron, and we get the interaction.
Yeah, them being in the subway together.
Okay,
it's not.
Yeah,
there he is.
Yeah, there's the entrance to Hogwarts. Are we getting there? We're just breezing through it. All kinds. There's getting the wand. People hanging out. First class with the roots and things in there and screaming. This looks like this is people. Was the end of the end of the season where they're all going to band together for the final event. There's the train ride where people making fun of Ron's behavior, and somewhere in here was Black Snape. I don't know what the timestamp is for Black Snape. Harry making snow. Is that Hagrid in the snow or something? I don't know. What is this? What am I looking at here? I don't know. Point is, this trailer. You're still a little fuzzy. Still a little fuzzy. Go kill Spectrum.
I'll just stay off camera. But do I sound okay?
You sound fine.
Yeah, you sound fine. Yeah,
you sound fine. It was a visual thing, not an audio thing.
Okay.
Anyway, so this entire trailer, popping events from, and they're calling it at the end here, Harry Potter and they're not calling it season 1. They're calling it Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone, which I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. It's still gonna be labeled season 1, but we watched this trailer. My thoughts on it when I watched it, it felt soulless to me.
Oh boy, Adam.
It felt soulless. It didn't feel. I didn't feel the magic, man. I didn't feel the magic. I didn't feel the magic. And I'm a casual. I'm a
I know.
casual.
I just find that funny.
He's right.
I just feel the magic.
The blandness is a huge problem.
Now
with
Jet's
it.
having that. Yeah,
You're
now you're
cutting
having
in and out
audio
now.
issues.
Now you're cutting in and
Yeah,
out.
now you're cutting
Uh-oh.
in and out. Now he's falling apart at the seams.
Uh-oh.
It's entirely
no.
because of the designs. The hard.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He can't hear us. He doesn't know. You're falling apart.
I can hear Dre. That's all I can hear.
Oh man, yeah, he's falling apart.
You're cutting
So
in
Jet,
it.
Jed, your audio is.
All right, go out and come back. Go kick your router. Go kick your router.
Yeah.
Go kick the router. Because we're losing.
So this is what I will say.
He's
in
making good
regards-
points and we can't hear him.
Yeah,
So
I know.
don't
I
want
know
him to
he's
listen.
cooking.
Yeah,
I know
go
he's
ahead.
cooking
You
with
go.
fire.
Yeah.
But like you said, like I don't feel the bad. Like you, I never read the books. I've barely seen any of these movies. I think I might have seen the first one, maybe. But this is what I will say is, I saw the trailer and I saw the kids having fun, and it looked colorful. Like I've been to Universal Orlando, and seen the the Harry Potter section and stuff, and it gives me the vibes of, oh, okay, this is the, what's it called, the Wizarding World, whatever they call it. And I'm like, hey, it looks right. And I think everything about, like, once again, I know less than nothing. But for me, on the outside looking in, this looks like Harry Potter in general. I'm like, I see the kids, they look right. We got a redheaded Weasley. We got all like stuff that looks right. Like Hagrid is being played by Nick Frost, I believe. I think that's who I saw.
It's Nick Frost. It's Nick Frost.
And I think he looks good. And so I'm seeing all the things that look good, that look like what I would associate with Harry Potter. So on that front, it's fine. The only thing, of course, which of course is the biggest low hanging fruit, was of course Black Snape, in which we all know that's the issue.
I'm looking for it. I don't know the timestamp.
But at the same time, like with him, he's also got a tracksuit on. It's just something very bizarre.
Dreadlocks.
Dreads.
He's got dreads.
Yeah, it's just very, like, it's so overtly out of place. Like, it is overtly out of place. And it's just like come on, guys. Like because, like, does this move the needle for me to watch it? No, not at all. Not in the slightest. But all, like, that's Dumbledore, right?
I wouldn't know that's John Lithgow under there. I wouldn't know that if I didn't already know.
And like, so like all these images.
This is a really good shot for what the problem is, though. This entire trailer is incredibly beige and bland. From the color grading to the costumes, Dumbledore is actually famous for having multicolored robes. Like, he should look like a rainbow in stilts. Like, he should be colorful to the max. He's wearing all black. The color grading is terrible. Have you guys seen the new Hogwarts crest that's in this trailer?
Yes, I have. I've seen it.
So the Hogwarts crest in the movies was a great shield, very traditional medieval. It is literally just the letter H with some tree branches on top and some roots at the bottom. And his letter, the letter he gets at the beginning of the season, it looks like a child scribbled his name on that piece of paper. It doesn't. Yeah, that. The other one had impressive calligraphy. It had a style to it. There's just so much flatness. Dre's 100% right. There are things that look right. Like, the castle looks right. Hagrid, I hate it's Nick Frost, but they did a good job with his beard and his costume and stuff like that. And then the news of the added scenes, I think it's just going to be boring. It's going to look right, but I think ultimately it's going to feel bland. And it's not going to be as much emotional investment as there should. Because the first two Harry Potter movies are phenomenal. They're close to the book, and they've got so much magic in them. You can feel it pulsating from the screen. This, I feel like I need to get a cup of coffee.
Like I said, that's why I said soulless, just because I don't feel like this movie, this trailer, I don't feel like it has a personality.
I don't think that's fair. Like,
if we didn't know this was Harry.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't feel, it doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel special.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that. And to Jed's point, if I didn't know this was Harry Potter, would I assume it's Harry Potter? Now, with the costume designs and all this stuff, yes, I would. But if we removed it and called it something else, like, I don't know, Wonky Chicken Monkey, I would have been like, oh, okay, that's kind of bizarre. I don't really know what's going on. But I think this is grounded on assuming that the audience knows what happens.
True.
I think they're putting a lot of
That's absolutely true. Oh, McGonagall,
a lot
she's
of
like
work.
45.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well, listen,
that
Emma
was
Thompson, good
the
actress.
Maggie
She
woman.
ain't Maggie Smith. She ain't Maggie
Yeah.
Smith.
Yeah, Maggie Smith, yeah.
She ain't Maggie Smith. She's not Maggie Smith. Not Dame Maggie Smith. No, not at all. But I mean, it's when I s- and when what I'm
It's
saying
a
is this.
black leather sorting hat.
I guess what I'm saying is this. Now that the wand design that looks very unimpressive as a wand, especially Harry's wand with the phoenix feather in it. I don't know. It has correct aspects to it. They use the old Hogwarts sets, all that kind of stuff. The kids look all right. I still think I still don't think they should. I still think they DEI'd Hermione. I think they DEI'd her, but it's a minor point. Maybe she's a good little actress. I don't know. But the thing is, there's something that just feels. I want to use a proper word here. It feels just. It's like they did just enough to get it to check all the boxes.
Cash grab. It's like just barely
we
enough.
all know that for sure.
Well, yes, obviously it's a cash grab, but it just feels like they just did enough to make you think it was Harry Potter, and then they stopped there.
And I'm still looking for Black Snape just because
There's no charm. I'm not
I mean,
feeling the charm.
this is actually a really good screenshot. Him in his Quidditch uniform, stuff like that. That's really cool. But I think that this first season is there he is.
Yeah, he's got dreadlocks, and there's a separate promotional image. He's got a full ass zipper down the front of his costume.
Yeah, he has a jumpsuit on. And like that's what I'm saying. Like when I watched this trailer, I'm like, okay, he looks completely out of place. He looks like he does not belong with everything else. And I'm like, it's not even got anything to do with his race. It's got everything to do with costume design,
style,
hairstyle, all this stuff. Why couldn't he have a robe on and have a pimp jacket and a nice tie and all that? You know, like he got to have a tracksuit on, looking like he about to run up into the Quickie Mart and put a gun on somebody. Like what? Like I don't. That's not the world that's built in front of us. You give me everything from the original Harry Potter, from what I remember, Philosopher's Stone. I think that's the only movie we've ever seen. Everything else aesthetically looks like it. Everything looks like aesthetically, this is Harry Potter. And then here is this nigga with a daggone jumpsuit on, with dreadlocks, looking like he about to rob a daggone mini mort.
And this is the biggest red flag for a lot of people. And this is the biggest deal breaker for a lot of people. Because if you do this, what other little things are going to be found out? And that's the reason why when the time comes, Christmas now, surprise, they said 2027, but no, it's coming out Christmas this year.
Which makes sense. Harry Potter is associated, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas franchise. It releases historically in December.
It makes sense.
So that's fine. It surprised us. This was a surprise. But here we are. They're dropping this. When the time comes, I'm going to need support on this. I cannot do this accurately myself because I'll miss shit. So
I'm going to reread the book right before the show comes out.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you're not going. But Snape is probably the worst person to race cast. Like in the entire franchise, he's probably the worst one to do it to. Like you said with Hermione, is she a good actress? Okay, we can move on from that. A lot of people you could move on from, but Snape with the flashbacks in I think Half-Blood Prince, where he's literally strung up a tree, where he's thirsting after a white woman who won't reciprocate, where he's mislabeled as a villain because of the way he looks for years, and people are scared of him because of the way he looks for
Blood takes on a whole new meaning.
Racial slurs, and it changes the plot because if the one black professor is the one that everyone immediately assumes, hey, he looks scary, he looks mean, we shouldn't trust him, is he the bad guy? That creates a whole new connotation to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
it goes full like KKK.
Papa Aceto made news this week by claiming he got death threats and stuff like that. And I have no sympathy for this man because he knew exactly what he was getting into. And I blame I blame him, and I blame the people who decided to cast him. And all that aside, we don't know what else is going to be in this, but this season 1 will be a massive hit in terms of watched. It's going to break the internet in December. It will. It's all come Christmas. It's all we're going to be allowed to talk about for a week. This thing, hell, listening essentially a week after Dune and Doomsday, this thing might wipe both of those conversations out. Very likely will wipe both MCU and Dune conversations completely out because all people are going to talk about is this first episode. And then we got another 9 weeks, unless you do a double episode drop, but it's HBO. They generally
HBO Max, doesn't do that.
Yeah, they generally stick to their one a week. So we'll have another 9 weeks of this to talk about. What do you think they're doing for the rest of the seasons, though? Now they're filming this shit. They're still filming season 2, I believe, or they might.
No, they said that they have started writing season 2.
Okay,
that's what with this trailer that they confirmed they will not be doing back-to-back seasons.
Here's the thing. That's where we're going with this. You have a problem. These kids are now at the exact same age that the last batch were when they started these movies. And when making a movie, it's always going to take you a couple years to make a movie. It's going to happen. And they did the best they could. And you can always play a little younger than what you are, a little younger than what your age is. That's been standard for decades. But they have now come out and said Harry Potter TV series sounds like it won't stream seasons annually. As HBO compares show to House of the Dragon and Last of Us. So,
which means on average 2 to 3 years for 7 seasons.
They have learned the wrong lesson. John Lithgow might die. He said it's the last thing I'm ever doing. That's what with him being hired.
The plan of doing 2 seasons made sense, Adam. What you were saying there is, they're filming season 2. That would have worked perfectly. Do it in 2 season batches, then you release that, and that way you can still keep that annual release.
Release them yearly, and that gives you enough time to film the following seasons if you would stick to original television production schedules, which they managed to do.
They have to write a lot for season 1 and 2 and 3, really, because the first 3 books, in comparison in size to the later ones, are tiny. 4, 5, 6, 7 are massive, like 600 pages. They're huge, and the first couple are barely 300. So that's why we're hearing all these changes, is they want them to all be the same length.
No, just run shorter seasons.
It's fine to do.
That's retarded.
One other scene that we know that they have added is Papa Isidro talked about being on a broom and being in an action scene with a broom where he has to fall off of it and hold on. And he was just talking about how weird that is. Yes, Snape in the book does ride a broom after the famous is Snape trying to kill me during the Quidditch match scene? You guys, if you remember that from the first film. In the book, the next Quidditch match, he was the referee for it. So he was out there on a broom. But there's no action set piece there. So they are padding things to make seasons 1, 2, and 3 of an equivalent length. So I think that's one reason it's also taking longer, is because they have to make up half the shit just to keep up.
And this is now the problem, though. They have not learned the lesson. And this is HBO Max, who knows how to make television. They take too long, but they can make quality TV shows. If you're telling me now, you're 7 seasons, you're going to spread this shit out, this is wrong. This is not how you regain engagement. And if season 1, if for whatever reason, despite whatever we know it's going to be massive numbers, if it does not maintain, and there's a drop-off for season 2, a noticeable drop-off, this shit is doomed then going forward. Because, like Jay, both you guys pointed this out, we know what's coming. This is not something where it's a mystery where the story is going. There should be nothing but anticipation for each season. And if there is a drop-off in season 2, especially if they make us wait, it's not like House of the Dragon where a lot of people don't know what the fuck is going on. If you know what's going on and you're bored waiting and you don't come back because you decided to go back and read the books or watch the movies, if that's where your comfort place is, that will be a significant visual problem. And also, these kids start to age up quickly.
This is going to be way worse than Stranger Things.
Yeah,
in
way
aging
worse.
up wise.
Way worse.
with the amount of source material that they have, a talented writer like you and I, Adam, we could have written all 8 seasons worth in a year easily.
The heavy lifting's been done.
Exactly. So just adapt the 8 seasons, turn them into scripts, and you can do that 6 months to a year easily. And if you have a writer's room, absolutely can get it done in a short amount of time. Get all 8 seasons worth of scripts and then have, film seasons back to back and release them as you can.
Yeah. This is not.
They're making it overly complicated.
They've made it overcomplicated. So there is so much attached to this franchise now, this reboot of the franchise, that I think it has a large mountain to overcome for complete success. The first season will be a success in terms of views, numbers, all kind of stuff. It'll be raved about. That's not going to be a discussion being had. It's after that. Can it maintain? If they don't get a season 2 until 2028, because they're writing it now, they'll start filming it. They filmed all of season 1 last year, so it's releasing this year. They will be filming season 2 in 2027, late 2026 through 2027. That means season 2 doesn't come out until 2028. And these 10-year-old kids will just hit puberty, and suddenly the voice is changing. Legs are growing, boobies are growing, and everybody's changing. And now we
might have to recast the kids every few years. That has been put on the table.
Oh, that'll be awful.
I would be shocked if this got to season 5, honestly.
You think
I agree that season 1 is going to be massive. Absolutely. Yeah. But with all that's going against it, with the amount of time it's going to take them 10 years to do 5 seasons at least. These kids are going to be in their mid-20s.
That is
by the time Order of the Phoenix comes out. So,
unacceptable.
With Warner Brothers being in the financial situation it is, and with the merger, Paramount and Skydance just did 2 major mergers, or is in the process of a second merger.
Finishing the second.
It needs to make fucking money.
Well, okay, with Jet, to your point there, Paramount Skydance could come in next year and say, hey, guess what, guys? Accelerate your fucking timetable. Because this is
or get
Warner
canceled.
Brothers. Yeah, this is Warner Brothers Discovery talking right now. They don't have, their new masters do not have any power yet. The Ellisons may say, or their Ellisons minions may come in and say, every 2 years? No. Get those kids back on the stage, get their tutors there so they can get their education, get their parents on set too, if that's what they want. And let's make this shit in a year. Okay? Let's make
somehow, some way, Daredevil Born Again has pulled this off.
Yeah, they made that shit pretty quick, didn't they?
So it's not like this is an impossibility or something that's that's far-fetched. Not to mention, the copy and paste is involved here. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil.
That's the foundation right there.
You're not creating anything. Yeah, there's books and a film, and so
copy the aesthetics of the movie and the scripts from the book.
Literally, like the idea that we're gonna do this every 2-3 years. You're a fool. You're a fool, especially when you know it can be done. I just watched a bad show do it last year, and now it's debuted again this year. It can be done. So, if you want money, like you said, the Paramount daddy got to get involved and start clearing this up. Listen, daddy needs his money, and this show's going to be a hit. You gonna crank these Jones out every year, or you won't see your children again? Just put it out there. And it's time. It's time. And like this idea of streaming television is a failed system. It's a bad system. Every 5 years, whatever. I got
created a poor culture of production.
Yes, it is bad. It is bad. And so they need to step the game up and get it done.
If this happens, I think with the structure of the production alone, this thing is doomed to fail despite the power of the franchise, because fans should not be asked to wait a decade to finish a story they already know that happens.
Exactly.
Well, the kids are legitimately going to be almost 30 when Deathly Hallows finishes.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be 17.
You can't hide a 30-year. The only person ever hid their age was Allison Hannigan and Buffy. You didn't know. You can't hide a 30-year-old playing an 18-year-old. You cannot. I don't have a lot of confidence in this. I don't think it's as we keep saying, I keep repeating myself to make sure we do not get misinterpreted, misconstrued our thoughts here. First season will be massive. Massive first season. Everything else after that remains to be seen, and it has the chips stacked against it. I don't feel like we're wrong on this. There's a lot of problems here, and I think and as a casual fan, as someone who doesn't have a lot of stakes, and even Dre, who is a non-fan, I don't have a horse in this race. I just wanted good television. That's all I wanted, and right now I don't feel like I'm going to get it. I just don't. All right. We're done being angry, even though they want us to be angry. So let's take them with the last part of the show. We're a little bit over time, but let's have a little fun. Jed and I, Jed has just started. I've already lost large parts of my life for the past week, where my wake sleep schedule is all fucked up. It's awful. I have done 3 7-8 hour streams on Crimson Desert last week because one, I got raided a couple times. There are a lot of people watching. I'm not going to stop. There's people enjoying themselves. I'm having fun. I don't care if the sun's coming up. I got nowhere to be except here. So I did the dumb thing, and I kept playing. So I'm really tired right now. I'm all out of whack. Point is, though, I have been putting a lot of time into Crimson Desert. We've spoken about the early controversy, but now I've been in it for a week. Jed, you've been in it for a few days. This game is just plain fun. If it's the type of game you're into, open world, RPG mechanics, action RPG combat, puzzle solving. There's a little bit of base building involved. The narrative is not a single narrative story. It's spread out across the entire game. You have to actually seek it out and engage with it. You can do whatever you want. Light crafting system. There's so much to do. I'm having a ball. It's so much fun. Jed, how do you feel about it as you're into it now? You're past, what, 3-4 days now into it?
Yep. I've been playing it for a few days. I'm 25 hours into it. I played it on and off stream, and I absolutely love it. That's what I always want to be doing, is playing Crimson Desert, because it's a fully immersive world. The depth of the world building is really good. The different races are constructed well. It's something that I can get lost in, and it's exactly what was advertised to me. It's exactly the game that I expected it to be, and I think a lot of the criticisms are unfounded, but I see great pieces of other games that I like the combat style, very, at least in the primary heavy and light attacks, very reminiscent of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I love, and there's stealth in it. So there's a lot of Assassin's Creed role-playing in there for me, but there's so many different ways to play it. Our play styles are completely different. That's why people are watching both of us. They're so different that no one's getting bored. And I find it to be a great game. Is it a 10 out of 10 or game of the year already? No, I don't think it's game of the year.
I don't know yet.
I don't know. It's still too early to say. Maybe it'll be the only one. But it's a really fun, safe game that I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with. Yes, is the story a little weak? And is it, like you said, it's more about the world building and discovering how all these characters work in this broader landscape? Yes, but the same people who saying it's got a garbage story worth nothing that doesn't exist, praise Elden Ring story like it's God's gift to mankind. That game doesn't have a fucking story. It's just lore you find written places. So I think there's a lot of disingenuousness when it comes to people attacking this game. If, like Adam said, if this is your type of game, if you love these open world games that you can get immersed in and lose yourself into role playing as a Greymane, this is going to be a hell of a lot of fun for you. And there's always something to do. You can always start up crafting. You can always go on hunting for bleed bandits for no reason. The Pixie Village. I don't know. Have you made it to the Pixie Village yet?
The little children's?
Yeah, the children's
I completed that quest. I had to in order to complete the Azure Labyrinth puzzle because they kept kicking me out. I needed a marker in there on a tree, and little bastards kept not letting me in. So I had to complete that quest before I could get that little bastard. And the tree ant and the Trent and the Trent glitched on me. I had to go reset my day because he was pathing, and then he pathed way out from where I thought he was. But yeah, I did all that shit.
It took me a minute to find him. And you mentioned the puzzles. The puzzles aren't good for my self-confidence to stream them and have the chat make fun of me for them. But they're fun, challenging puzzles, and I love that aspect.
I've got two that I can't solve right now. Ariel's gonna. She's here. She's been there. The bell puzzle. They're ringing the bells with the notes. I still haven't figured that one out because there's the primer. It's got a signpost with the notes on it, but I have no idea what the order is. I have no idea if I think there's something missing, but I haven't figured out where to go look for the missing. So I have tried numerous combinations. I spent 2 hours on that thing like an idiot. I even started to stream on it, sitting there going,
really? Oh yeah, I spent about half an hour on it and just like, all right, I assume there's something later. So I left, but it's challenging. It is legitimately challenging. I feel like this is a game for experienced gamers. They expect gamers to know how to do things, figure shit out.
There's no hand-holding.
There's zero hand-holding. And it feels like it understands what gamers want because like you mentioned on the Steam reviews, the Steam reviews are mostly positive now that they've made the quality of life fixes because those needed to happen. There were some issues
more today. They made more today.
And they're listening. Like there's an example that I really like. There was a hack or a glitch that you could do to make yourself skyrocket way higher than you should have been able to and then glide down, right? And when Pearl Abyss found out that people were doing this, instead of patching it out of the game because everyone loved it, they designed animations for it because gamers were having so much fun with it.
Yeah.
They understand gamers are responding to them and giving them what they want. So yeah, it's absolutely successful. And when you look at the sales, it's 100%
over 5 million. It's about a 5 million at this point. It's right about a 5 million in a week.
Yeah, that's profit. It's making a lot of money at this point.
We talked about it last week. It was at 3 million. Now it's at 5 million. And they're not, when something's successful like that, they're not going to hide it. They're not going to hide it. And as we said, they're making little things here and there. Like today, part of the patches today, one of the things I know people were annoyed with, I had a problem with when I first started. In order to sprint, you had to keep tapping your button, keep going.
It's very annoying.
Now today, tap it. Once you start, tap it, go. It just makes it easier. It was very hard for me to complete my sliding relic challenge because I had to tap it and then I had to slide and it had to get it happen. Now that would have been so much easier. It's little things. It's little things. And the game understands it. Like we said, there's no hand. There's no yellow paint in this game.
Oh God, no.
No. I mean, like I said, also there's a second puzzle that I came across. It's essentially what looks like a giant board of the game Go. There's black tile, there's black stones and white stones, and I have no idea what the puzzle is. I walk over here, I'm looking at it. What am I supposed to do? Some of these ones were off to the side. Some of these pathways are working. What am I doing here? I have no idea what to do. That's one of two puzzles that I'm
imagine the adrenaline rush when you solve it yourself without looking it up.
There was a puzzle.
I love that.
There was a puzzle a few nights ago that, I mean, I did that one live on stream where essentially I came upon 3 fountains. Have you seen the 3 fountain puzzle where it's 3 fountains?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I won't spoil too much. Anyway, we came in there and you know how it is when you want to, in this game, you level up by getting abyss relics and applying your skill tree, or you can watch somebody do something. Sometimes combat will stop in the middle of a boss fight because you'll be scanning somebody and it'll show you just learn something. And I'm going to tell you a hack in 1 second that I figured out yesterday in terms of your skill ups.
The skill tree.
Skill tree.
You told me that one already.
Yeah. So you what you do is you have to learn stuff. And sometimes there's a shadow or a ghost doing something. You have to track and learn them. This guy was doing the action you have to do, but it wasn't quite clear. And it took me about 10, 15 minutes to really understand. Also because I couldn't track it. He kept not showing up. It was a little glitchy. I couldn't find him. I think the game was glitched. He's supposed to constantly be there, but he would appear and disappear. So I couldn't quite see what he was doing. And eventually I figured out what it was. And even though somebody in the chat was going, would you like me to tell you? And I said, no, please don't. And a couple minutes later, I figured it out. But now with the learning stuff, here's a hack. Now, this is not a spoiler. It's just a good hack. I realized last night, wait a minute. I have literally, I was in the little sprite village there, and I watched the kids doing the double jump. And I thought, I learned double jump 2 nights ago on my own. Wait a minute. Why did I still spend money on double jump? I reset all my spurks. I had an extra 10 relics that I got to reapply because when you reset your tree, if you've seen somebody learn it, you still know it.
You keep it, yeah.
So they don't punish you for the respec. There's no cost. You can just respec.
Nice.
So I didn't get a charge, no money, no nothing. So I respec last night and I juiced up my bow damage, my bow mastery, because Dre, you'll be proud.
Bow's not great. The default bow is not great.
No, but I've been mixing in.
Bows are everything. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I've been mixing it in because that's the only way to hunt. You got to kill them deer with the bow. Problem is, them deer don't go
Right.
down. Those pigs don't go down. You have to charge it up, and you got to do this. I have an ability where I can freeze time, essentially, and force nature power. I can mark them multiple times, then charge my blast and fire a rapid fire arrows and murder these poor woodland creatures and skin them for their meat and their bones, which I did.
I need to upgrade that for bleed bandits and towers because those archers and
Oh,
towers are.
What are you talking about? Oh, Jade, you know the trick for that? I can tell you. Would you like me to tell you? Had to do with a bandit in the tower. Don't shoot the bandit. Charge your shot and shoot the tower. The entire tower collapses and buries the bandit.
Ooh, I only just got the charged shot. Like
shoot
the last
the
time
tower.
I played.
Shoot
Okay.
the tower, not the bandit. The entire thing falls down. It's glorious. It's glorious because there's debris damage in this game. If shit falls on you, I cut down a tree, damn thing will fall on me if I'm not paying attention where it drops.
Well, and if you use a tree to walk across a stream, your weight could snap it.
Yeah.
Like
No,
there's a lot of great world building details. It's nowhere near Red Dead Redemption 2. There are, like all your weapons are just glued to you. They don't even bother giving you scabbards. There's just your sword is just there floating beside you. So it's not that in depth, but there is a lot of good attention to detail.
Yeah, and it works. And then there's the fun stuff. Oh, there's been a lot of articles written this end of the week about the pet collection. People are really collecting the pets. And last night I found a distinguished gentleman. He doesn't. We can't name our pets yet, but he has a name. His name is Sir Albert, and he is a distinguished gentleman. His name is Sir Albert. He's a distinguished gentleman. And the pet, the dog companion, it just follows you around when you summon it. It picks up your loot, so you don't have to.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's very nice. Sometimes you have to resummon it to re-trigger it, but I bought him some little armor, and he's a good boy. He's my good boy, and he sits there, he looks at me, he watches me, he knows what's going on, and he just says, "I'm here for you, my friend. I'm here for you, and I'm going to do it with class."
I like that.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. And there's lots of different dogs. I have settled on the floppy-eared bulldog, Sir Albert. He is my friend. And
so you're saying for Christmas you want a floppy-eared bulldog?
No, I don't. No.
Hey,
I don't want to take care of any animals. No animals in my home. No.
It's hard enough to take care of yourself.
Yes, it is hard enough to take care of myself. I listen. I ain't picking up anybody else's shit. I'm doing that.
You want to borrow a kid? I have a kid here.
That's different. That's different. When eventually he'll learn to wipe his own ass.
Oh dear God, let that come quickly, please. Jeez.
Point is, there is so much to do in this game. Lots of little fun things, and I've explored. I've ranged out of the first starter region, but there's great stuff. The boss fights are engaging. I have fought 5 bosses.
I bought the dildozer.
The
I beat
dildozer.
the dildozer last night after we talked.
That's what it's called, dildozer.
No, we call it the dildozer. He's
my
giant suit.
It's like
with 2 drills on
Electrotron
his
or
hand.
something like that. But it's a drill mech suit the guy's in.
Yeah, he's in a drill. He's in a drill exoskeleton, and he's trying to kill you. And
That's
that's the boss that made DSP quit the game.
Is it really that one?
Yeah, that's the boss.
I mean,
because
I came across him after maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Like I was really early in the game. He kicked my fucking ass. I did no damage. Tried it a few times. Like, all right, I'm way not ready for this.
Yeah, your
So
gear was low level.
Exactly. I was still rocking the default gear. So I left, built myself up, came back in, and beat him first try with no pills.
Yeah, see, I had a different experience because I didn't know he was there. I had spent about an hour fucking up that whole area. Is basically the Red Steel Bandits controlled a quarry. I'm just destroying shit left and right, and that's the last on the list. And I was out in this game. Your food restores your health. And I was out of food. I had my my pills left, the resurrection pills, and I thought I just need a cook pot. So make some food because I had plenty of raw meat on me. And I go over a wall and I see this cook pot sitting there all by itself. Oh, cook pot, no enemies, great. Yeah, that was the boss arena.
Yeah,
so
it knew what it was doing. It was.
I dropped in there. I dropped in there, and there he is, the dildozer, and all his 2-fisted drill glory. And I beat him on the first try, but I did die because I had no health restoratives left. I went into the fight without prepared. I was already at 70% health too.
Oh, so I prepared myself.
You knew
I think
what was
your
coming.
fight was hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what was coming. So I went in there and I had to figure it out. Now, of course, I was already skilled up because I had been wandering the world. So I was skilled up. I was geared up. I just had to check it out. I used the force palm to stun him, and I beat him up. I'm watching his drill attacks. I'm dodging around. And eventually he was just a little bit left, and there's okay, now I'm going to power move him to death. I will brute force this. And I got him. But DSP ran into that fight talking about, oh my God, I was busy destroying all these easy mobs, and I run this guy, and he just kicks my ass, and I try to fight him. I've watched a clip. He just runs there and starts swinging. He doesn't.
Dodge is pretty important in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like DSP has never played a video game before, because every RPG that's out there, you come across the boss that's too hard. All right, maybe I'm not ready for it. Go away, come back later.
Yeah.
It's literally a normal video game thing.
It's a little light Souls where you got to watch the patterns of that. I mean, I told you about there's a boss, the Crimson Nightmare, where you get to him. You got to watch his pattern, and you got to really dodge. And there's only one opportunity to really do damage to him and win the fight. And it took me about 30 minutes to get through that because I just, as the chat lovingly will always say, I had to dodge better, and I really did have to dodge better, and I figured it out. But I fought other bosses at this point. The Stag Lord, that was a good fight. I fought the Reed Demon. I fought that one. That was a good fight. And I employed different tactics because the weapon system is good, actually. I didn't think I'd be swapping to other weapons, but you have to in some situations. You have to because the mechanics of the fight. The Reed Demon, he is all over the place. I switched to the Spear, and the Spear has a counterattack skill, where as long as my stamina is holding out, he attacks me, I'll spin around and counterattack. He doesn't touch me. So it's a way to
do that. I haven't invested anything into
that. The Spear attack is out. Spear's great. I've only played around with a long sword a little bit, but I do like it as well. I'm a dual wielder, so I love the dual wielding. The bow and arrow, it has its definite uses. And then I can't use a great axe because that's another character. The rapier and the pistol, that's also a different character. I haven't messed around with the other characters. I only have one of the girl that we get. I haven't done much with her yet, but there's so much to do in this game. You get lost in it. I have to now spend time grinding for lumber and stone to complete a quest in my Gray Main camp. It's a pain in the ass, but I will get it done. But that's what it's all about. I'm not going to stream that. That's just my time.
And with the role-playing aspect, like you're just mentioning there, you and I have been calling each other Gray Mains.
Yeah.
We're getting invested in the factionalism of this world. Like, I want to go fuck up some black bears. I know it's very generic names, but I'm invested in this conflict. I'm invested in these characters. Cliff is a traditional chivalrous knight-like character. He's not overly complicated. He's a man of few words. He's not ambiguous. He's not morally ambiguous. He's not gray. He's just like, I am trying to be the best man I can, and I will help anyone in need of help.
No, Ariel, it's not about the base building. I just have to. You want to watch me for 2 hours, just chop down trees and mine stone? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I have to chop down trees and mine stone while good Sir Albert picks up the logs and the stone bricks behind me. That's what I'm going to do. It takes time because you could send your Gray Mains once you build your camp out on missions, but that goes to the total, not your quest. So I still have to do it myself. But there's you play this game however you want. You go whatever direction you can fuck around. I screwed up at one point. All the stuff involving the Red Steel Bandits and the Count that want you to do it, I did it all before I even ever talked to the man. So I got there and I skipped cutscenes. It just went over cutscenes because I already did it. Because I wandered around. I have crawled through the wastes in the north. I have run through the Black Bear Fortress. I didn't
know there was one. I need to go fuck them up.
Well, I couldn't touch them. I say those guys, they just shrugged off my attacks. I just ran through. I was trying to get to a treasure cave. I just ran through, and they're chasing me. He's like, leave me alone. I just ran all the hell through. So no, I know where those guys are. You could send missions, Jed, with your Gray Main missions. You could send a mission to go attack it and reclaim it without you even going there. You just send them. So that requires a lot of resources you don't have. You want to make sure your Gray Main comrades are leveled up. I'm at 15 of 20 reclaimed Gray Mains right now doing those quests. I've almost got them all. I found a few more, but I sent a bunch off to do something, and one of them for the next quest. I sent him. He's not there for the quest because I sent him to go do something. So the game is varied. You can approach it any way you want to. You can go at the stories any way angle you want to. They added 5 more mounts today. They changed the legendary creatures that you can capture. A whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole big list of patch notes today that I skimmed over because I didn't. Jed, you know what they did? They said, "Here's a spoiler tab so you don't get spoiled." So the patch notes didn't spoil something. And I was like, "Oh,
that's wonderful.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that." So I cannot say how much I'm enjoying this game any more than I am, and it's fun. I think once you understand the combat and level it up, the skills and abilities, you can chain them all together into moves. And the mobs, there's no difficult setting this. It's just the game, and they will. And
there's no journalist mode. That's why they all hated it.
Yeah, and they will fuck you up. I got surrounded by a bunch of shield-bearing inquisitors, and they started. I ran out of food. The problem was, all I went there was a relic on the side of the road. That's why I went there. But they all saw me, and they kept attacking me, and I couldn't pick it up. So I had to run away and come back. I'm shooting with arrows. I'm running. Give me my relic. That's all I want. I didn't come here for a fight. There's guns. There's cannons. There's everything.
Oh yeah, the guns. I think you and I can unequivocally say though that the hate is mostly manufactured and doesn't make sense. Like if the hate, it's clear they didn't play the fucking game, or they couldn't figure out and assumed. Like IGN's review was what, 5 hours?
I don't know. If you play the game, if you play the game for a few hours and you just do the straight stuff and you don't like it, that's fine.
Absolutely,
that's fine.
It's not for everyone,
exactly.
But the abject lies. Like I was told before I went in, the game is terrible because the tutorial section is like 3 hours long right at the beginning, and it takes you forever to get to play as your character, do what you want, go where you want. You literally could. There's no cutscene at the beginning. You literally just become Cliff and start walking around. There's a good fight. One cutscene.
Prologue fight. You get your ass kicked because you don't know the
controls. At most 35, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So the whole like 3 hour tutorial is objectively a lie.
Essentially, once you get your ability to do abyss stuff, the tutorial is over. And as soon as
you jump off that island, you definitely.
As soon as I was back on terra firma, back in my tent, I fucked off in a direction, and we spent hours just stuff. I did puzzles. I found relics. I got skills. Did all kinds of stuff, and it was great. It was.
But this goes into the conversation topic of today: is that there are people who have nothing else to rage bait about, so they find out that there's a few quality of life issues which are legitimate issues, and they're being patched out, and they latch onto it and make it seem like it's a crisis of untold proportions. Every time something happens, there's a recency bias with hate as much as with love. And every time something new comes out, it's the worst thing ever. Like Stranger Things Season 5, it's worse than Game of Thrones Season 8. Oh, Crimson Desert, it's worse than Cyberpunk 2077's release. These are just nonsensical statements because of the recency bias and trying to make the hate.
Just to
They're
wrap
smoking crack at their assholes.
Just to wrap it up because Dre's looking for a noose right now.
I've already found it.
Just to wrap it up, one of the biggest quality of problems of beginning was the storage chest. You had it, but it was inaccessible to store stuff. Within 36 hours, they patched it, and you had access to it before you got to the point in the chapters where you had your camp. And even last night, they moved the storage chest. It was in a very inaccessible spot behind the camp provisions master. You had to kind of get around them. They put it back in the tent today. It's back in the tent for easy access. So you don't have to squirm around Carl to get to it. So it's back in the tent where it belongs. Very easy to get to. So little things, but little things matter. So
and
right now,
is listening.
Yeah, Probus listening, and I think they were a little too apologetic. They were a little bit too, but they played it safe, and that's fine. Their actions are speaking louder than their words for me. And right now, I love this game. We're gonna play this game for a while. I've 22% according to my metrics, my analytics on my PlayStation now, and I've done jack all. I've been spending time for the past 2 sessions on doing my Gray Main quest so I can max out my camp. Because Jed, I now have a vendor in there. I've got a cooking. I've got the cook to sell stuff. I've got my provisions master. Now I've got the wagon guy, but I don't have any wagons to give him. So I need to buy some wagons. Now all I need is a stable and a smithy and an alchemy station, and then I'm set. Because I did the die quest last night, so I have access to an alchemy pot in town, but I don't want to keep going back to town now. I've got almost everything set up there. So I think when I get the last 5 Gray Mains, that will probably open up the remainder of the stations in camp.
Well, and you mentioned the storage chests. There's also complaints about the inventory being too small. Well, it updates constantly for everything that you do for people. Yeah, you do quests and you get 4 inventory slots. It's
I've got
There's also
138 slots in my inventory right now.
There's something coming for you, Adam. I won't spoil it, but there's an undetectable extension charm like in Harry Potter. There's an item like that you receive. That is incredibly
You know what they
useful.
said today in today's patch? You can buy storage boxes when you max out your basic storage 250 slots. You can get additional storage boxes and set them up in your house. God. And if you're a Luke Goblin like I am and you get everything, you have a lot.
And
of
like
shit.
Ariel's mentioning, at the end of the camp, imagine if you could custom build a castle, not base building, like actually make parapets, keeps.
A keep, like a Gray Main keep or some shit like that would be cool. I see them updating this game for a very long time and adding shit. That's what I see them doing. And eventually, if they come up with a co-op mode where you can run Gray Main missions, that's what I see it would be. It would just be you co-op with up to like maybe 3 or 4 people and run Gray Main missions and go kick some ass. That's what I see. That's what I see. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right, we are way over time, more than usual. So let's wrap this up so that we can go play more Crimson Desert. Anyway, Trey, I'm sorry, my friend. You may say your piece and go.
I was gonna pick up my pizza.
What?
I ordered it like 40 minutes ago.
I didn't know.
You could have told us
You
to
could have
fuck
gone.
off.
You could have gone.
I said, wait a minute. Are my Anglo-Saxon brothers still talking? I zoned out. I
You said I'm hungry.
I was like, wait a sec. I zoned out. I was like, I'm still here. I was at pizza.
Wait,
no, it's all good.
You imagined going to get the pizza.
I imagined getting in my car and getting the pizza.
I feel bad now. Now I feel bad.
Then zone back and said,
we
oh my
skipped Fortnite.
God. I'm like, you dumb bastard, you're still sitting here.
In all seriousness, you could have gone. I would have been fine. We were going to keep going.
It's all good. Look, I enjoy hearing y'all being excited about something. So So in the day on a high note. So that's good stuff. But yeah, so this week we'll see what pops off in comics or what have you. Of course I gotta watch Daredevil and hope and pray.
I gotta watch Mall Shadowlord soon.
Sheesh, what a waste. Ew. Yeah, and follow me on X Twitter, Attribution00. And of course, check out my website, bbcomics.io, all my comic work, voice work, all that other great stuff. And hopefully soon I'll have some updates on Trouble Rise of the Children Chapter 2's production. Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay.
So I am gonna bounce.
Go find pizza. Go find pizza. All right,
fan. That'll be easy.
Jed, besides Crimson Desert, what else?
Well, it's going to be a very busy day for me in the next couple days. So tonight, I'm probably going to play some more Crimson Desert because I need my fix, Adam. I need my fucking fix. So yeah, going to play some more Crimson Desert while you're on Wormhole Watch. And then tomorrow, Rider Flight returns at 2 p.m. Eastern. I have a ridiculous amount of NASA and space news to talk about. The moon base stuff, Artemis 2 coming up. There's a quiz I'm going to do. It asks you what type of role you could do in on the moon base, and I'm going to take it.
Oh, I want to know the results on that. I do.
I'm going to do it live, so I don't know how long the test is. If it's a long test, I might do a video or do something separately. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to try to do that on. So Rider Flight's going to be like a 3-hour stream, and then later on that night, I'm going to play some SWOTOR, trying to get around to I still want to play SWOTOR, so I need to have a dedicated time. So I'm trying to make Monday night my dedicated.
I'll come on for a bit if you want me to. I'll come on.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I need to get some progress in that, and
I could do both. I could do SWOTOR and Crimson Desert. I could do 2 different streams. I'm capable of that. It's fine. Go ahead.
And then Tuesday, I'm going to be live most of the day on Tuesday. Let me see. I'm sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that Artemis 2 launches. April 1st. The official launch window opens at 6:24. I'm probably going to go live around 2 or 3 o'clock and stream until it launches, because the launch window is 2 hours, but there's a lot of great coverage that's going to happen before that. I'm going to have the NASA feed open. I'm going to be playing Deliver Us the Moon, most likely, to spice it up a little bit, and we're going to cover that entire process, and hopefully everything goes off without a hitch, because The future of the Artemis program is an exciting one, and this is the first stage. This is the first step. Artemis
Moonbase,
1,
baby. Moonbase.
Yeah, Moonbase. Moonbase is legitimately on the table, but besides that, just Crimson Desert stuff. Saturday Night Drive-In this week. Do you want me to announce
Go ahead.
that?
Yeah, it's your week. Go ahead.
Perfect. So this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern for Saturday Night Drive-In, Adam and I are going to be talking about the film that's on the path to $1 billion. We're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary. So that'll be a great discussion.
Yeah.
But I do have a new job that I've got to build up to, so some streams won't happen every day because I got to do some prep work for that.
It's a good excuse.
It's a very good one right now.
Yeah.
And so much drama. But yes, going to stream Crimson Desert as much as I can.
Okay. As for me, I'm done for the day. I will be playing Crimson Desert. I might go give Dermy some quality of life tips if he has time. I said, you want me to? Because I watched him play a little bit last night, and I'm just going, no, do that. It's not spoilers, just like do this. It'll make your life simpler. So I'm gonna probably hang out, help Dermy out a little bit, understand it, because Dermy had a good time last night. I got Wormhole Watch tonight. You can catch the edited version on Brad's channel, Duke Devil 95, every Wednesday night. Rest of the week, Daily Dive, Monday through Friday, although we might be doing some schedule changes to that just because the show needs to change a little bit. I think it's not doing what it used to in terms of, I think, content and this and that. So I might shake it up a bit. We might not have it be every day. We'll see what happens. And you never know what's going to happen this week. We will be punting that Fortnite question to next week because maybe some other news will happen on that this week, and I'll have even more to talk about. So that's definitely a topic for next weekend, and we'll see what happens. You never know. All that kind of good stuff. And just to remind everybody, yes, the Day of Doom is still happening. I have booked my room. My passport is complete and on its way, so I can fly without being carded improperly. Because that whole, I can use a passport in my own country now. What is this? Anyway, well, it's either that or real ID, and I do no goddamn real ID. Anyway, so I will be booking my flight soon. So Day of Doom, May 25th will be happening. We'll keep you guys updated on that for those who wish to join us. Remember, it is not an official meetup because you will have to spend money to do it. We're not just going to go someplace hang out. We will be going inside Galaxy's Edge, which costs an expensive ticket for somebody like me who is not currently a Florida resident. So got to do that. Anyway, so once again, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We really went overtime today. But sometimes it happens, especially when we want to have a little fun. So thank you, everybody. Hit those like buttons. Links are in the description below. Dre's eating a pizza. I'm going to eat food, too. Good night, everybody.